Yogi is wrong.
Right. What would Socrates say to that?
It tickles my fancy.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Goosies.
I don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not right.
That's true. You do got me.
Get over here, Marcus. Let me look at you. They don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit her with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay, Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Stairs on the stars with the show, and till then his half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof, I'm a lie about a motive. No proof, like I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him, and if I did, I never ever traded him. You know what is a star? Like another city, the driver's like Florida. Gucci get large, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. Hey, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever and cute as can be. You can watch us on YouTube with viewing for free. Ay, this one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time wondering what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
No promises, Tommy. I don't know. Good morning, everybody. Welcome on in. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. Leroy is out today, so we, coming from his palatial estate, joining us here on the show today, Alex Dono. What's going on, buddy? How are you?
Hey, man, it's great to be here, especially with you, because usually whenever I'm on this show, it's usually when you're not here, and I'm usually with like some combination of Marcos and Leroy. So it's good to be here, even though we're not doing the type of show that you and I were hoping we could do today. And like you even, I think you jinxed it, because when we were texting yesterday, you said like, hopefully tomorrow's just a party, but you know, it's not.
Listen, if the biggest reason is me, I'll take it. You know, if I am the biggest reason why we are not here celebrating today on a closeout Wednesday, we didn't get to have a closeout Wednesday. We delayed. It's a closeout Friday now. You know,
It's okay. We'll have the party tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a better. You know, who wants a party in the middle of the week anyway? Let's just party going into the weekend. You know, we're gonna be all hung over. We got the rest of the work week. Closeout Friday, way better. In hindsight.
It's Tobin's fault. It's not anybody.
Idea.
Yeah, it's not anybody missing 3-pointers. It's not Vlad's guy Jalen Brunson playing 48 minutes and scoring 38 points. No, it's Tobin's fault.
Just blame me. I'm good. I'll wear it. I'm good on that. You know, everybody thought I was a jinx for Sergei Bobrovsky. So now I'll wear this. I'll wear this too. That's fine. No problem with me. I'm good. It's we'll push it on to later in the week, because then. Like, then if they close it out on a Wednesday, then we got today's fun. But then what do we do Friday? Got the whole week. We got a 3-day week. What are we going to do? So it's great. Just delay the inevitable. It was fantastic. No problem. Good for the Knicks. Good for the Knicks fan. They show the guts. I'll give you guys credit, Vlad.
I appreciate that.
You guys showed the guts. Jalen Brunson's a hero to you guys. He was awesome yesterday. I don't really have any honestly, I watched that game yesterday, Dono. It was the Heat didn't play good enough. Jimmy Butler wasn't good enough. They fouled way too much. And, kind of the first time in the playoffs, you really have like an actual loss to kind of just sulk on a little bit, because that Bucks loss when they gave up a record number of threes, that was a stupid game. What are we doing here? Where they shot 140 points or something like that. So you can buy nothing into that. Then Jimmy was out for a game. They almost won that one. So you're almost like semi-proud of this one. So, yeah, it's like the first time you really sit back and you're just like, this is what your team not showing up in a playoff game feels like.
Yeah, you always know a road game in that situation when you're up 3-1, it's going to be really, really difficult, because, the Knicks had to literally play like there was no tomorrow, because there was not going to be a tomorrow for them if they didn't win that game. And listen, from a Heat standpoint, it kind of felt like a regular season Wednesday, right? Because Jimmy looked a little bit more human. It wasn't necessarily playoff Jimmy, but you can forgive that with the way he's been playing. Didn't get enough help, didn't get enough 3-point shooting. So it kind of felt like we were doing a throwback to like March. It didn't really feel like the May basketball the Heat have been playing lately.
It was such a weird start to the game, because it was the most atrocious offense you'd ever seen in your life. Like, it was basically like, I don't know, like an 18-13 game the whole way. And then the Heat ended it on a 10-0 run. And I really thought, I was like, oh, this is probably going to end the Knicks. I thought they were going to wilt. And then the Knicks came right out in the second quarter and responded with a huge run. And then Jalen Brunson really got going. He had a 3-point play to give them the lead, and they really didn't look back from there. It was still tight up until that third quarter where they started to take off, but the Knicks really, I thought, responded from what could have been a first quarter that broke them. And
14 points, man.
yeah, I thought that they were ready
Terrible.
to pack it up after that, and they didn't. So you got to give them credit. To the point of Jimmy, like, yeah, I think this whole, it was one of those things where he was, I don't know what that was from him yesterday. People are theorizing the ankle. I don't know. He played pretty badass defense, dude. Like, I can't sit here. He was getting to the rim just fine. Because, like, if you look at his numbers and you see the lack of shot attempts, okay, but like if you see where he got his shots, getting to the free throw line, the plays he made on defense, blocking Jalen Brunson, I didn't think it was a very hobbled looking Jimmy Butler. The only thing we didn't really see was that jump shot, other than the one that brought it to within 3. And that to me was like the missing element. He didn't have that, like, let me just light this place on fire. Let me end this. It almost felt like he walked into that one, maybe to your point of saying this had a regular season feel. He didn't really feel like this was a let's send them home game. And I just think that, look, the formula for this Heat team, for this Heat team to be what they've been, they need Jimmy Butler to be, as he's said, walking off the court the last 2 games, I'm the best player in the world. And he wasn't that last night. Jalen Brunson was the best player in the game.
Yeah, and you can't, like, for as great as Jimmy's been in this postseason, I mean, he came into last night averaging 34 points per game in the playoffs. You can't expect anyone, whether you're talking about LeBron James or Jimmy Butler, you can't expect that on every single game. And the Heat just didn't shoot well enough yesterday. And listen, the Knicks, they had to have more energy. I'm with you. When that first quarter ended and the Heat were up 24-14, I thought it was RIP for the New York Knicks. I thought they were done, but they came out in the second quarter like gangbusters. I mean, has anyone, though, Tobin? I mean, listen, after the Heat win a couple games at the Kaseya Center, we're talking about the humidity, how that may have zapped the Knicks. I mean, it was 63 degrees, very low humidity in New York. I don't think the Heat were ready for that. I think that could be the reason why they lost that game.
It's true, because they're reptiles. Like they can't handle not having the humid tropical temperatures, and if they don't have that, then they're not the same basketball team. And
well, it's like iguanas. When the temperature drops 23 degrees, what happens to the iguanas? They freeze, they fall out of the trees. That's what happens to the Heat as well.
Same thing for Gabe Vincent. Gabe Vincent needs it to be a certain – so does Kevin Love. Otherwise, Kevin Love doesn't thaw. He can't go out there and hit anything. Man, Kevin Love was a torpedo last night, though. Oh, he was bad.
Yeah.
Listen, sometimes the old don't show up in games when they only have a day's rest.
That was
Kevin Love was – Kevin Love and Gabe Vincent, like, if somebody were to wear the goat horns for yesterday, like those guys, I mean, they helped dig the Heat a bad hole yesterday.
Well, and we go right back at it. Just only one night between games again, right? It's Friday. We go back at it.
Yeah. Which, like, look, that was, if there is something to this Jimmy ankle, like, yeah, I mean, that's definitely a concern. But that also, I wonder if that was part of the element of him not feeling like I got to go balls to the wall, because like. The last series against Milwaukee, I don't think you want to give Milwaukee any hope, because it's like, if you let Milwaukee back in that series, give them any kind of hope, like, you never know. They're a really great team and they can get on a kind of a run. You never want to give anybody hope, but I truly do believe, I do think that the Heat, like, look, as badly as they played yesterday, as big a hole they got in, still almost pulled it out yesterday with playing the most imperfect game. So, yeah, maybe there was just this element to Jimmy thinking, like, I don't think I need my A+ game here today to beat this team. We nearly beat them without me. So maybe that was part of it, why we didn't have a Jimmy Butler who was taking all the shots and taking it. But yeah, he is the thing that is making this special. It's hard not to break it down. It's great to talk about what Max has done, the veteran leadership of Kyle Lowry, what Kevin Love has done. Lead us, Kevin. But Jimmy is the key. And if Jimmy is going to be if he's going to be really good, all right, you'll have a chance to win. But to win, you need him to be the best guy, bar none, on the floor. And he wasn't that last night.
For as disappointed as I was that the Heat didn't close it out, I've got to imagine the happiest person on the show right now is Vlad, because he's at least, Vlad, you've bought yourself a little more time. Not only are you a Knicks fan, but you're going to owe like 10 people in this building dinners if the Heat beat the Knicks. So you're like clinging to any hope that you're not going to have to buy Dan Day Prime 112 in a couple weeks.
Well, it's not even Dan Days, though. It's Leroy. Out of nowhere, Leroy just put Capital Grill on the bet.
He's just going. Leroy just goes for the jugular.
Yeah, he went for the jugular, so he's starving himself right now to try to get me.
He's on a juice cleanse.
Yeah, I hope he juices for another 5 more days.
Get to some more headlines here, brought to you by New Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
Thank you, Jennifer. The Panthers also lost last night. They lost to the Maple Leafs 2-1 in Game 4, so they now lead that series 3-1. Shut off the water on them, Donald. Like, could not get anything going offensively. The Maple Leafs, they also play with a great desperation. Their rookie goalie was awesome. And just not the Cats, who always seem to be able to find that last goal to come back. They just weren't able to get it last night, and really couldn't get anything going of a late rally on many chances either.
Yeah, it was a frustrating 2-screen experience. And I was, at the times when I was listening to the Steve Levy commentary, I was surprised that dude had any voice at the end of it, because like you said, it was one-way traffic for Toronto, but like every 15, 20 seconds, it was like, huge save, Bobrovsky, another huge save by Bob. So it's like, that was what was frustrating about it, Tobin, because Bob just committed robbery a handful of times on juicy Toronto scoring chances that should have been goals. It was Columbus Blue Jackets Bob, which we've seen a lot of in this series. So it gets to one of those things. As a big hockey fan and a big soccer fan, when you see saves like that by a goalie, you start to think, the hockey gods are in our favor, and that's going to be a chance that Toronto couldn't capitalize there. I really thought the Panthers were going to come back and win that hockey game, but the opportunities on the offensive side in the offensive zone just didn't materialize. So it's like, I really thought Bob was going to keep the Panthers in it. You were going to get a late game time goal, win it in overtime, the way you've done a couple times already in this postseason. That's the way I thought that was going to transpire, because our guy Bob was standing on his freaking head.
Yeah, he was, and that's the thing, is like we've been kind of spoiled over these last this last week and a half, because we've seen just incredible performances from him and them always being able to pull it out. I mean, that was 6 straight wins. So it's the first time the Panthers have lost in 6 playoff games. So pretty insane. And then with Jimmy, it's like, I felt when Jimmy hit that jumper and out of the timeout to put the Heat down 3, I was like, all right, playtime's over. He's going to do it again. I really thought that. And when Grimes got that steal on him, I was like, damn, that actually can happen to him. That never happens to him. That happens to him, because he just always seems like, all right, playtime's over. I'm ready to end this thing. But it wasn't to be last night. So closeout Wednesday has been postponed 2 days. No bigs. Marlins won last night, yesterday afternoon, though. So
okay,
500 again. Yuri Perez is coming up. Big series win against the Snakes.
The room got very silent when you brought up baseball on a day when we had closeout game. Like, I'm looking at Vlad.
They closed out our 305 parlay.
They were. In fairness to them, they closed out. They were the only one to close out on a closeout Wednesday.
That's true.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll hear a little bit from Jimmy Butler after the game yesterday. You guys can get in on the show, 305-567-0560. Streaming live on YouTube and Twitch, the channel Miami 560 WQAM, and on the Odyssey app. Back after this. on the video can hear us. Fantastic. Well, now I hear an echo of myself.
I couldn't hear it either, but now I'm back.
What's going on there, JFig? You don't know? Well,
That's
I
not
mean,
me.
you pushed the button, and now I am hearing echo. So what do you mean it's not on you?
I don't know. Vlad, did you do it? Wait, why is there 2 Vlads? I hear myself.
This is like a yes. Still here. Still here. Nope. Nah. No. I don't mess up, JFig. Well, you're fine until I got here. I'm like in a vortex of doom. I don't know what to do here. Now there's 2 Vlads.
No, it's okay.
Now it sounds better.
The world doesn't need 2 Vlads.
Yeah, but now I can't hear Dono.
This is not on me.
JFig, it
I am
definitely. You're the
not
video
audio.
producer. It's on you. What do you
He's the
mean?
audio
It's on
one.
you.
That's not me.
He only does. He has his job right now.
Did you change
The board is on.
Did you change the setting?
Nobody
I
touched
didn't
anything.
do anything.
Literally, when you walked in here,
all I
Murderer,
did was
when you walked in here,
unmute
Murderer,
Vladimir.
it got
That is
all
all I
wonky.
did.
You made it like an audio video funhouse.
Didn't.
You definitely did.
I have no other button to press.
Mm.
That's it. That's
Mm.
all I have to do.
Anyway, this is professional. This is professional. Oh wow, this is great.
It's not me.
Maybe we should log out of StreamYard and log in or something like that. Is that something that we can do to get this going?
No.
Because why did the echo stop?
What'd you do?
Did you touch something, Vlad?
I'm trying to change the settings over here.
See, it's not me.
Yeah, you. Well,
Much like this, much like the Heat in that
didn't do
third quarter
anything.
coming out of.
do we hear Dono? Why don't we?
Hello?
Hear Dono?
I do hear Dono. Yes, I do. I can hear him now.
Good
Dono,
to be here.
it
Yeah.
is good to be here.
Okay.
This is why we have you here, buddy.
We're good.
All right, good. That wasn't rocky at all. Anyway, if we could venture out, can we hear Jimmy Butler after the game yesterday, Vlad, and get Jimmy's thoughts on what went wrong for the Heat, and if it was the shots not going down.
Every time we're going to continue to take those shots. We're going to make those shots. But I don't think that offense was a problem. I think we fouled a bit too much. We didn't get back in transition. We didn't box out the way we were capable of. So it's never just about shot making. It's normally about everything else.
Yeah, I agree. I thought the fouling was one of the biggest issues. They had a ton of guys in foul trouble. They couldn't stop reaching. Jalen Brunson had him guessing. They were sending the Knicks to the line way too much. I mean, normally these games you're going to go and you can say free throw discrepancy was a big issue down, but I kind of got it yesterday. Like Jimmy was the only guy going into the paint. The Heat needed a miracle run from Duncan Robinson to even make it a game, so they're hoisting a lot of threes. So free throw discrepancy made sense to me yesterday, and the Heat were basically almost in the bonus, getting the Knicks in the bonus early in that game. So that was a big deterrent and really ever able to get any kind of momentum going, because if you foul, then they get to go to the line and it kind of stops everything that you're working for.
Yeah, the Knicks had more than double the free throw attempts, which is never a recipe for success for the team who's on the other end of that. The Knicks went to the line 40 times. Heat went to the line 19 times. Now, unlike a Knicks fan, I'm not going to blame the officiating. I'm going to blame more the style of basketball and the way the Heat were playing them. But they got butchered at the free throw line when it comes to the attempts disparity. And then the other area, and listen, the Heat don't commonly out-rebound opponents, but they got beaten pretty badly on the glass, Tobin. The Knicks had 50 rebounds to the Heat's 34. So that's certainly another factor you look at, that these are not the recipe for winning a closeout game on the road when you have that much of a free throw disparity and that much of a rebounding disparity.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, they that was kind of their calling card, and they finally got a game where they were getting to the second chance points. I mean, the Heat had success with that early on too, of second chance points and scoring on turnovers and things like that. But yeah, I think that Miami putting itself in the kind of hole that they did, it like at the end, the shooting numbers don't look terrible, but man, Miami put itself in such a bad spot from the standpoint of they kept chucking up open threes, and it was like 3 of like 19 at one point. It was terrible, and mostly Kevin Love.
Yeah, and something I do wonder, and somebody brought this up in the chat. Dr. Toboggan brought it up on the Twitch chat. Tom Thibodeau, as he's known to do, he gets every ounce of sweat out of certain players. He did play 2 guys, including Jalen Brunson, for 48 minutes, and now you only have 1 night of rest between games 5 and game 6. So, you have to wonder if you could have some tired legs out there. So I think that's going to be another thing we watch out for on Friday.
It's definitely something I think you got to watch out for, because like Jimmy, Jalen's also playing this one a little bit banged up. And when you get to these points of the series where you do play every other day, as you can see in many games, how are you responding to these types of things, which is maybe part of the reason Jimmy didn't go balls to the wall last night, because he's like, look, I don't think I need to press the action like I did against Milwaukee. And maybe they walk out of there with a win, which they almost did.
Yeah.
So, and that will be an interesting thing to to look at and to see if Jalen can match that, because he was superhuman yesterday. He was outstanding. They got a good game from Randall. I did. He got popped in the face by Bam Adebayo. I think that's the secret to success. Just play with one eye.
Dude, did you see he had a nasty shine?
I thought that thing was going to close. I thought they had to call him like Stitch Duran, Dono. Like, he was like winking the entire game.
Cut me, Gibbs. Cut me.
But it seemed to work for him. It feel like it locked in Julius Randle.
It reminded me of Rocky with Paulie in the corner. I can see 3 of them. And he's like, hit the one in the middle, and then Mickey's like, that's right, hit the one in the middle.
So he was great. RJ Barrett was great. Their stars had a better game than Miami. Duncan Robinson, had a little bit of a resurgence. That was fun to see.
That was scary.
I know. And like the Heat had looks there at the end too. Kyle Lowry and Duncan were getting looks there at the end. So that's why it's like I can't. Even though I know that was probably one of Miami's worst efforts of the playoffs, pretty clear. They haven't lost many games in the playoffs. Man, they still almost pulled it out. And that with taking on a desperate Knicks team with their stars playing amazing and your star playing pretty good and Bam playing pretty good and your role guys not playing well, and they still almost pulled it out.
Yeah, like I haven't looked at. I'm sure there's a line out already for game 6 on Friday night. I'll see if I can pull it up, or maybe one of you can pull it up, because I know the Knicks were 3.5-point favorites last night. Obviously, they covered that. I got to figure they're going to have Miami probably 4.5 or 5.5-point favorites for that opportunity in the closeout game tomorrow. So I'm curious to see where they go with that.
Heat are favored by 4.5.
There you go.
208.5.
Yeah,
I'm seeing
that 5 on ESPN. So
really,
yeah. So which I think is probably about right. I expect I think, and Miami hasn't lost at home this year in the playoffs, so they've been very good there. I'm very confident going into tomorrow night that this is the game that gets it done. I picked it in 5. I was disappointed I didn't get to bust out my monocle. But I get to, that's what I was looking for.
Where's all the top hats?
I'm saying for the Panthers.
Yeah, right.
Panthers get the gentleman sweep the Leafs. So I still get use out of it.
I'm a glass half full type of guy. And I grew up on Heat Knicks in the 90s. So I guess if there's any saving grace here to this series being extended, maybe it gets a little more bitter, a little chippier. We get to see more of it. Because the one thing you could say, if the Heat had wrapped it up in 5, you're never going to look back on this series and say, oh, this was another chapter in the Heat-Knicks rivalry, because they had a 5-game series in the Big 3 era that the Heat won, and nobody outside of Amari Stoudemire, blasting his hand against the fire extinguisher. There wasn't really anything memorable from that series a decade ago. So maybe game 6 will give us something memorable. We can look back at this series like, yes, another great chapter in Heat versus Knicks, because obviously a 5-game Heat series would not have been that.
Yeah. I mean, I think that I still think that this series has kind of lacked those classic moments, but yeah, it's a 6-game series is a long series. I guess we'll see what the last game, performs, because I don't think this has been the best basketball to watch. Like these games haven't been the most pleasing. A lot of it has been dirty work games. It's almost been a little bit of a throwback, but we're not used to that these days anymore. Like these days, it's all 3-point shooting and beautiful game. And even Jimmy's games have been like, Jimmy was hitting those jump shots all over the Bucks, all over the place. And, this has been more second chance points, get dirty rebounds, which look, he identifies with. That's the type of play that he likes. But I do think that what we saw in the Buck series where he was lighting the world on fire. I mean, he was pulling up from everywhere. He was hitting all of his spots on the floor. And then yesterday, he's doing the cute troll thing where he's like, well, I'm not a scorer. Do you have this, Vlad? This was Jimmy afterwards, which is just classic contrarian Jimmy Butler.
I was making all the right plays. I'm not a scorer anyways. So, you know what? I don't know how many I had, but like 19 or something like that. That's enough for us to win. If we make a couple more shots, I don't think that question's asked the exact same way. Doesn't matter if I score 40 or 50, 19 or 9. We always have enough to win. And if I score 10 points next game and we win, that won't be an issue and it won't be a question. And I will continue to play the right way.
So there you go. He says now all of a sudden he's not a scorer, even though he's been the number 1-2 scorer in the play.
Yeah, a guy who a couple weeks ago scored 60 points in a playoff game. Now I'm not a scorer. Okay, thank you.
If you want to talk about something that Jimmy Butler will never ever want to give, it is the exact quote the media wants. Like he is. If you say, Jimmy Butler, do you think that you played good with shoes on? Do I think I played good with shoes on? I think I could play good with no shoes on. I think I could go play in flip flops and still put it. Like he will do that every single time if he just like if the last place he wants to be on is on a podium. So if you think he's going to get you, oh, did the Knicks do anything defensively? Did they do anything defensively? They don't even need to defend me. I don't even score. What is basketball? Actually, I want to go play tennis. Yeah. Like that's what he's going to be. That is the enigma that is Jimmy Butler. That is what's going to go out there, and he's going to be that way. But yeah, they need him to go out there and be more aggressive. I get it. He was doing a good thing in that he was trying to get his guys involved, and his shooters let him down. Kevin Love, Gabe Vincent couldn't hit the broadside of a barn yesterday. Max Strus was okay. He was fine, but until Duncan came in, they really just didn't have that punch that they had from downtown. Him and Caleb Martin hit a couple of big shots there at the end of the third too to kind of get it going, but it just took too long. You can't expect to always dig out of that hole, even though they almost dug out of that hole.
Yeah, and it's one of those old cliches that we've all seen it in the playoffs over the years. The role players and the three-point shooters they tend to be a lot more reliable at home than they are on the road. So you could kind of figure if you could paint up the same scenario in terms of the shot creation in Game 6 at the Kaseya Center, instead of 30% of those going in, maybe 42% of those go in. That tends to be the way that this trends a lot in the postseason.
We'll take a quick break. We'll roll on, continue our coverage. And got other stuff to get to along the way. The NFL schedule is coming out today as well. We got some of the games that are trickling out. And back up with more after this. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560, streaming live on the Odyssey app. You want to stay connected with our show every day, give us a follow on the Odyssey app for easy access to clips, show reminders, and more. Check out the rewind feature, listen to us on demand, and download the Odyssey app. Give Tobin and Leroy a follow, and you guys can listen to us anytime, anywhere. Alex Dono in for Leroy today, who's off for the rest of the week. It's great to have you here, Dono. Very appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Even though I have to look at Vlad's,
Vlad?
even though
This has been very smooth with Dono today.
smooth sailing today.
Is the pod up? His audio pod?
Hello?
No? Nothing.
He's unmuted, so I'm not sure what's going on.
All right. Swell. This has been a bang up start today with being able to hear him. But I see him. He looks fantastic. And let me just say, for everybody who's here on who's watching us on YouTube today, just fantastic Canes polo and all that stuff. So
Also, his house always looks so clean.
it does. You do have a very clean house, Dono.
Yeah, I have maid service multiple times a day.
Beautiful. Do you have a robot vacuum? I love a good Roomba.
I've got two Rumbas. I started out with one back in the day, but since I have this huge palatial estate behind me, I figured we need to go for the deuce.
I understand. Yeah, that's definitely the way to go. By the way, late last night, if you guys didn't see, the Warriors were able to hold off elimination. They won pretty handily, 121-106 over the Lakers, but the Lakers may have an issue because Anthony Davis suffered a head injury. And now they got to go into a concussion protocol. And I got to say, better hear the same outrage with him that I did with Tua. I want that going over with a fine-tooth comb with Anthony Davis. All right? I want neurologists. I want specialists.
Yeah.
If his ass is going to be out there in 2 days.
It's in Los Angeles.
Tua had weeks off, Vlad.
It's in LA. They got the best neurologists out there. I
want to make sure that that we're going over this. You know the thing that really annoyed me today, to be honest with you? So I have like ESPN on the background, making the kids lunches before I head out and venture on the day. I don't know who the boob was who was on television. I don't know who's on that Jet Up show. But as soon as they get to this, because Mike Greenberg, who had his terrible take about the weather, where he stole from Jalen Rose, he also had another take where he said that Anthony Davis and LeBron James should sit out Game 5 and just come back for Game 6. And the guy goes,
right.
He goes, I hate to say it, but Greeny was right. I was like, no, he does not get to be right because Anthony Davis got a head injury. Ridiculous. He could get hurt. It's Anthony Davis. It's a time bomb. You never know when an injury is going to happen or where it's going to happen.
Yeah, Anthony Davis, Joel Embiid, guys like that, like you said, they're just time bombs. And if you predict an injury for one of those guys, it doesn't mean you're right about your stupid take. Because like Tobin, I know a lot of people have been saying the last several months that Tua Tagovailoa should retire, right? So you know what happens if he gets one concussion next year. Whether he comes back from that or not. If he gets a concussion next year, all these blowhards, you'd be like, see. I told you he should have retired. I knew this was going to happen. So, you don't get to take a victory lap on something like that.
Oh, people are waiting on it. They can't wait. I mean, Bill Simmons is one of those. He's like, any should go out there? Like, all right, just enough of you, dude. Enough. The whole thing.
I'm surprised Greeny's not taking a victory lap with the Knicks winning last night. Can't he come back and say, well, see, I told you it was that weather.
It was the weather. There. Yeah, Jalen was right. I guess he's technically not right. Because his only point was that they struggle down here. So I guess if they lose tomorrow night, then he can also be right. It's you know what? I'm kind of jealous of him. He's put himself in a take bubble where he can't be touched.
Are you impressed because he's Tobin the situation where he cannot be wrong either way?
I don't like it because first of all, he used a blanket of Jalen Rose. So he tried to use him as like a cloak of a take force field. So I don't like that. And also, no, it's the stupidest take I've ever heard. It's an indoor sport. What are we doing?
Listen, like I'm sure he's very good at his job, but I found Greeny to be extra annoying lately, probably for some of the same reasons why Vlad is probably loving him more than ever, because he goes so hard. He goes so hard in the paint with the over-the-top Aaron Rodgers love and the New York Knicks love and the excuses. So that tends to be a time of day where I'm usually pretty available to watch ESPN when that show is on. But it's been it's been annoying me even more than usual lately with some of his takes.
I think it's only going to get worse when it's actual football. Like right now we're just doing OTAs and we're just talking about, got schedule matchups because, we found out today, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, that's our first Monday Night Football game. So you just imagine like all the national games that they're going to get because they're going to Denver Bronco, the New York Jets this year with Aaron Rodgers there. So it's going to be nonstop national TV games for them. I think the Dolphins will get a lot too, but that being the first one, he's going to be extra annoying. That entire show is.
Well, we know we're getting that Black Friday game against the Jets. Is that going to be a primetime game? I assumed it was
3 p.m.
No,
3 p.m.
3 p.m.
Oh,
But
3
we're all-
p.m.
Yeah, we're all off that day, right? Like so.
I will.
Usually,
I'm gonna be shopping at that time though. Probably be in line at the
Canes
Best
aren't
Buy.
playing that weekend, are they?
They are playing that weekend. Yeah, they're playing that day. The Canes. I can't remember the opponent, but they're
The
playing.
Canes are
Black
playing on Black
Friday.
Friday,
Canes are
Playing on
playing
Black
on Black
Friday.
Friday?
Yeah. Somebody
Wow.
told. I'll double check that, but I remember somebody tweeting about that yesterday. Let me see.
that is a pain in the ass. I don't
Yeah,
like all
really.
these doubling schedule things. Like, first of all,
And I work on because I think I'm gonna be doing Dolphins coverage on the station this year and Canes coverage. So I got to tell Len I'm gonna have to be doing 2 shows at once that day.
Like he cares.
Boston College. So I guess is the regular season finale. Is that what that would be?
Yeah,
Friday the 24th
yeah,
at
Friday the
Boston College.
24th, yeah,
That's a sleepy nooner if I've ever heard of one.
That's a 12:30 game.
Yeah, that's a 12:30
Yeah.
game.
Oh.
So well, you know what? That might be a good Friday. It'd be nothing but football.
yeah. it's
Wake
true.
up, watch the Canes, then I watch the Dolphins. Might be a good day for me. Stay in my PJs, no shopping. Turkey sandwiches, something like that.
That's the best part of Black Friday is the leftovers. Oh,
Of
my
course.
God. Oh, I love it. I don't know how it is, but Thanksgiving food somehow tastes better the next day.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think it's all the starches. You just get to you just nuke it on up. Really good, really good.
Is there any better lazy day than Black Friday?
It's pretty good, dude.
It's the best lazy day of
Yeah.
I think of the year.
Yeah,
You just don't do anything.
I honestly like this better than having the Thanksgiving on football because if my team played on Thanksgiving, I know that's going to be a thing because like you got family stuff to do, you got obligations. So like if I have to say, hey, I can't watch because the Dolphins are playing the Lions or whatever, then it's side eye. But the next day, that's lazy day. Perfect. Perfect setup for everything.
Yeah,
I can't wait for the schedule release though. I am very excited to see how this thing's line up.
When is that actually the full release? When does that happen? Because they do so many of these strategic leaks. I feel like I've already gotten the high points by the time the whole schedule comes out because they plan it out so well. Because like the NFL wants everybody talking about it before they finally put the whole thing out.
The big ones today so far, we have opening day, which is strangely, did you do this?
Yeah, Chiefs Lions.
Chiefs Lions. Chiefs Lions.
It makes sense, Tobin.
We're getting
Doesn't
a side of golf to open up
Yes,
our season.
It makes sense.
Why?
Okay. They're not gonna do Chiefs Eagles immediately, the rematch.
They usually do that though. They do that a lot.
I would have thought that, but I think they want it later on in the season. And I don't think they want to use Chiefs Chargers because they did that last year Thursday night. That was the first Thursday night game for Amazon. And I don't think they want to put Russell back on national primetime television.
Can't do that.
Just
So
don't
then
put
who-
them on television, period.
So
this year.
I just felt
the real game they should have done, Tobin. They sent it to Germany.
I don't understand that. They screwed it up so hard on how Tyreek Hill's return to Arrowhead, how that isn't your opener for the season. It makes all the sense in the world. And the fact that they're not only doing it, but they're sending that game to Germany is so stupid.
Smack to the fans of the Chiefs.
Doesn't make any sense.
They can appreciate that in Hamburg the way that they would.
Could you imagine how much drama, how fun that would be to open up the season, how much bleep Tyreek Hill would be talking going into that? He was already looking forward to it. He already had back and forths with him and the former Chiefs or his former teammates on the Chiefs. I was looking forward to that so much. And they're like, when we need to put this game 9 a.m.
in Hamburg. Yes.
Who
Give it to
thought
me. I need this game in Hamburg, Germany. Yes. We do it in
Deutschland.
Deutschland.
Like, who thought that was a good idea? And then Jared, you're opening up the season with Jared Goff?
You want to see Dan Campbell, man? That's what they
Who
want to see.
cares?
Yeah.
Like, they're a nice story. Don't get me wrong. Like, the Lions were much more respected. Explosive offense last year, right? They get like one national TV. They don't get the opener. That's insulting. You don't open my season with Jared Goff. What What the hell is that?
That's an insult, isn't
It
it?
is an insult.
it
It's an
is.
insult to football. That's football just saying you'll take some football and you'll like it.
They should have sent that game to Hamburg. What are they doing? What are
They
they
should
doing
just
with
send the
this one?
Lions to Hamburg.
They should.
Just send them. You know, like, could you, like, how much schnitzel would Man Campbell like to have? Dude could
Bro.
pound some schnitzel.
The knockwurst
telling
that
you.
guy could knock down. Yeah.
That guy just looks like he just drinks out of the giant glass of beer at all times.
Yeah. He's got 3
Oh
of
yeah,
those
they
Steins.
the Lions definitely could go to Germany. They'll have the time of their life.
Yeah.
Yes. What, I don't, this is so dumb.
Hamburg is a blue collar city in Germany. I guess.
I'm not saying,
Is that so? How do you know that much
I
about
don't
it?
know. I'm just making it up. I'm just
there's
saying.
no idea.
It just sounds like it's a blue
They got a lot of
city.
factories there.
Hamburg. You know, hamburger, beer. That sounds like a blue
Are
collar
they going?
city.
Is it even Hamburg? I feel like they're
It
not
is.
going to Hamburg.
It is. I think it's
Frank-
Hamburg.
I thought
Yeah.
they were going
Oh,
to
is
like
it Frankfurt?
Oh,
I
is
thought
it
they were going to
Frankfurt?
Frankfurt.
Even better.
Oh,
That's
okay,
not blue
even
collar.
better.
Everybody knows.
No,
Very
no.
uptight in Frankfurt.
No. There's a blue collar side in Frankfurt.
That's a big cocktail weenie town. That's where they created the Frankfurter.
All right. We'll take a quick break. Hour 2 coming up next. It's our Tua, Tonga Vailoa, not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort, Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua, it's our Tua.
Tua.
Tua. Chris Sims can go to hell. Tonga Vailoa, Dolphins quarterback.
Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of food.
Hour 2 of the program, ladies and gentlemen. Tobin and Leroy here with you, taking it up until 2 o'clock. Alex Dono co-hosting with me today from his mansion. I really like that place, man. It's really, really sweet. I think I see a dolphin. Is that a dolphin jumping out of the water behind you?
Yeah, there's a nice stream behind me, and dolphins do frequent that stream. Also, there are manatees in there from time to time.
Beautiful.
So we have the full, and there are even somehow hills behind me there. We've got a lot of diverse wildlife behind the Dono Mansion.
What's the party?
Did you steal Cliff Kingsbury's home?
I took it by force, yes.
Okay. I mean, it's not like he's coaching there anymore. You know
No,
what I'm
he had to
saying?
get out of there. He had to get out of there. Let's get into some headlines here. Brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Supercenter. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
Thanks, JF. I appreciate you miming doing the truck, even though you don't have the truck.
don't have the
Still,
You don't
no
have
one's
Leroy-
gotten
Leroy's
Leroy's
toys.
Does Leroy have the truck now? Because
He has 3. They're just not here.
Finally.
Yeah, he finally bought his props.
Dono, take one of your son's trucks. I
Oh,
know he has a truck.
I
somewhere.
could do that. He does have trucks all over the place.
there you
Oh,
go.
it's got to be a minefield right now. Is he at the age yet, Donna, where he's doing Legos? Because watch your feet, dude. When that happens.
He's not big on Legos. He's done some Legos. The big thing he's into right now are these Brio train tracks where he lays train tracks all over the house. And then if you happen to trip over one and put one out of place, he gets very annoyed by that. So there's every day.
Trying to be an engineer.
Yeah, there's yelling sessions going both ways because I'll knock over a piece of his train track. He gets mad. Then I get mad at him for being mad at me for tripping over his train track. It's a whole thing, and you don't even want to know what's going on down here.
We finally have one of our first Dolphins games announced. Well, I guess it's our third Dolphins game announced, but our first one for scheduled release day. According to Jordan Schultz, the Patriots, who announced today that Tom Brady is making his return to Foxborough for their home opener. That's going to be week 2, Sunday Night Football against the Dolphins.
Oh, the irony.
Wow, yeah, for real. That's a troll. That's not even irony. That's a troll job, right? The guy,
Those bastards.
the guy that got our owner in trouble for tampering and has been rumored to be either buying part of the team or playing for the team or buying the team and playing for the team. That, yeah, it's going to be for his return to Foxborough. Good work, NFL.
Is Brian Flores going to make a return too?
Perhaps. Yeah, he's like, hey, Vikings, can I take this week off? I'm gonna go check it out. I'm gonna go check this out. We're just gonna have a big reunion, a big Tampa reunion. Damn, week 2. Well, 2 has never lost to the Patriots.
That's true.
Still undefeated. That would be a good way for if he just makes Tom Brady watch him throttle the Patriots, because Mac Jones sucks. I mean, that is the thing that they still have to deal with. It's cool that you're going to have a little emotional lift, but you still have Mac Jones, and the dude's a bum. So, he goes out there, he slays the Patriots right in front of Tom Brady's eyes. I would like that. That would please me very much.
You got to love it, man. If you're Tom, the team that you've been rumored with and the team that you used to be with.
Yeah. It's a little bit. It's more attention on him. He's going to love it, and he's going to be fake humble that entire week.
Well, and if he says anything, the media is going to take it out of context, because you guys probably talked about it on the show a few weeks ago. He was at that corporate event and he was asked about that. But it was so weird because he gave a complete non-answer. I don't feel like he said anything. And yet it was front page on all the sports blogs, Brady talking about the Dolphins, but he didn't really say anything. So he does. All he has to do is show up to that game, and Mike Florio's going to go crazy because he wants to bring up the story for the 11,000th time about how the Dolphins tried to get Brady and Sean Payton together. and the whole media is going to take it and run with it because he doesn't even have to say anything of substance for them to try and make the whole Dolphins tie in again.
No, it's what did he say? He was just like, I have friends who are on the Dolphins. Yeah. Like, what is that? Yeah, Wes Welker's the coach. Like, of course. I mean, like, because not young people, like the old Dolphins are your friends. I don't feel like him and Javon Holland are getting coffee at Sunny Isles. Something tells me that's not happening.
Yeah, he and Welker probably hang out quite a bit since Brady's living down here, and Welker's like they probably spend like all the weekends going out. I don't know what Welker's marital situation is, but we know Tom's on the prowl, so they're probably having a good time.
Yeah, we know that they're like they used to go to those Kentucky derbies together. They all wasn't like Welker wearing a pink suit at one point.
Yes, I remember that drinking mint juleps.
Okay, so now there's some confusion. Okay,
what's going on?
Now they're saying like they're going to open against the Eagles, the Patriots. So I'm trying to get some confirmation here. Twitter's flying fast and heavy right now.
So if they open against the Eagles, why can't they play the week 2 against the Dolphins?
No, they can, but Tom Brady's coming for the home opener. That's what Kraft said. So I'm trying to figure out which one it is. Mike Girardi says, let me clean this up. The Patriots will open at home for the first 2 games of the season. The second one is against the Dolphins. So I guess it's not going to be the Tom Brady game.
Storyline ruined.
I know. Against the Eagles. Yeah, that's not as juicy.
No.
Either way, Mac Jones sucks, so it doesn't matter. The Dolphins are going to win.
Okay, so now here's the question then. Who do the Dolphins start the season against?
I don't know. Because we got to keep scrounging.
Do we know if they start? Do we know if they start at home or on the road?
I would think they start at home if the Patriots the following week on the road.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Well, the other thing is we know that all the divisional opponents are taken, right? Because Patriots are taking the Eagles, the Jets are playing the Bills, so it's not going to be a divisional opponent. Who could it be? I mean, we could just look at their.
Do they do Justin Herbert versus Tua?
I would like that.
That'd be cool.
That's an important, because they're 1-1 against one another. Herbert took the rematch. Tua's got to take the trilogy.
Yeah, I think that'd be a fun one too. That would be a fun one too, for sure.
I mean, no matter what that schedule looks like, I can show you 17.
Why do we care about this? Why did this NFL? How have they hooked us like this?
Especially since you already know who all the opponents are going to be, but then they still
don't know the date.
I need to know when, where, the circumstances. I need to know all of it.
You do. Like, I know a lot of people are complaining right now, like, oh, we got, this NHL, NBA playoffs are going on. But you need to know what days, what dates that these games in the NFL season is going to happen so that you can properly prepare.
Of course.
Schedule, travel, all that.
It's big, right? Because, like, for me, like, we're all in South Florida, but I know, like, because I talk to Dolphin fans from all sorts of different places, and they're obsessed with planning out the road games that not the home games, which are road games for them, the games that they attend. So I know that that's a big thing for them.
Well, then last year's schedule was weird because they had that big West Coast swing. They had a ton of time where they were out on the road. I do think this stuff matters. I know Leroy makes fun of me all the time. He thinks it's dumb. But that doesn't mean we're not going to play that's a win, that's a loss tomorrow.
Well, that's because Leroy played the game and he had transportation automatically taking him wherever he went. Like, he doesn't understand what it's like to be a fan. If you go to road games, you want to plan it. If you live somewhere else, you want to plan which home games you go to. As a guy who is in the NFL will never understand it the way that the us road warriors and weekend warriors do.
Exactly, dude. You take this stuff for granted, Leroy.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, like, I'll admit, I take for granted just like going to games because what we do for a living. We go to a lot of games for work with press credentials, and like I tell people, I go to every Hurricanes game. People are like, oh, really? That's cool. I'm like, I guess I've been doing it for 15 years. It kind of loses the magic after a while.
Yeah, no. And then we start getting, we start complaining about things like, what the food is like in there. And they got to pay like $100 for like a pretzel.
That I never complain about because I'm just happy to get free food in a press box. Like I'm never going to be one to bitch and moan about, this I don't like the sauce on this chicken or they're being stingy with the pork. I'm just happy to get free food. I will never complain about that.
Can I just say Leroy is now texting me during the show, which is something he gets at me all the time for when I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
And now he's saying, you care because you're a mush. What does that even mean? I'm a mush of what? Of what?
I mean, you are a mush. I just don't see how that's relevant.
he's not even here. He's getting points.
Don
What am
was
I a
even
mush
calling
for?
you a
Because I
mush.
called it Closeout Wednesday? It was
Yeah.
technically a Closeout Wednesday.
Did it
And you
close
did-
out?
No, they didn't, but
Okay,
it's-
so then it wasn't a closeout Wednesday.
well, it was still a possibility to close out. That does not change.
You sound like Mike Greenberg right now.
You should have said that yesterday, Vlad.
I wasn't here yesterday.
That's true. He wasn't.
Yeah, that's right. Forgot.
I need to know who they're taking on week 1. It's important. Let's go.
I mean, you would like to know if you're starting the season 1-0 or not. Like,
I would like to know.
All out the gate, you just think the first week it's gonna be 1-0.
I mean, listen, man. If this team doesn't win at least 11 games this year, it's going to be a disappointment. This Dolphins team, they have expectations, Vlad. I know your Jets do now as well because you went and got Aaron Rodgers. These teams have expectations. You got to
You
win
wanna-
both these teams.
Absolutely, but
No.
I want to see the schedule because I know we're having a lot of night games, so that's gonna affect my sleep as well. And my,
especially Monday nighters,
the
you know.
Monday nighters,
Yeah,
you know,
you sound
I
old.
might not,
Wow.
I might not be able to have fun with, the opposite sex. It's just gonna be, it's football takes your whole time.
Okay.
You'll have
Yeah.
something better than that, Aaron Rodgers.
So Vlad, are you such a
That's
big
great.
Jets fan that like let's say, because you're a single guy, you have like an opportunity at a date that might turn into something. But if it happens to be on the same night when Aaron Rodgers is playing in primetime, do you pass up do you pass up that date for watching your Jets?
Okay, so there is a problem. There's not a
Mm.
problem. There's a science to it. So I have
Okay.
two. One for wins and one for losses. So when they
Okay.
win, I hang out with her. When they lose,
Okay.
I hang out with her.
Wow.
So yeah. So I expect a lot of wins this year.
Okay. But either way, you're covered.
Either way, I'm covered.
Either way, you're covered. He's got it all. He's got it all covered for you.
So is the one that you see on the nights when the Jets lose, is she disappointed that the Jets signed Aaron Rodgers because now she gets less Vlad this year?
Yeah.
Is she aware that they got
She's
Aaron
not
Rodgers
aware,
yet?
but she's not.
No?
She's
not
gonna
a-
know.
She's not
Okay.
aware that she's for losses.
She doesn't know she's
Oh.
the L girl.
Right. She
Okay.
doesn't know
Okay.
the L girl. She doesn't know she's the L. The L
Probably
college girl.
best you leave that
I'm
that
not
detail
gonna.
out.
Yeah. Why would I say that? It's been
Seriously.
3 years. It's been 3 years of greatness.
But she
There's-
might
there's
figure
been
out
nothing but losses.
she gets ghosted a lot this year. Then she's like, why isn't Vlad ever calling?
Well, there's not going to be much 4:15 phone calls anymore, or text messages or anything like that. It's all going to be late. So I have a lot of reason to be like, it's, I got work in the morning. I got to do, I got to do Tobin and Leroy, Joe Rowe show, something to that effect. It's going to be late now.
I literally have no words for any of
You
you.
shouldn't. It's not about words.
We'll take a quick break. Back with more of this.
WQAM.
Welcome back, you rascals. Tobin and Leroy here with you. Hey, the SoFlo Boat Show is coming to Miami Marine Stadium May 19th through the 21st. So we got a chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to go see all the new model boats. There's going to be live music, world-class food and drinks. Keep listening for your chance to win. Give away that 4-pack before the end of this hour. You guys can hit us up, 305-567-0560. Heat lose last night to the New York Knicks, 112-103 in Game 5. So they lead that series 3-2. The Panthers, they follow the Maple Leafs 2-1 in Game 4. So they lead that series 3-1. Alex Dono filling in for Leroy today, co-hosting with me from his palatial estate. So it's great to have Dono with us here today. I was waiting for this one. This peacock was going to come in here and sprout his feathers. Richie, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
Good morning, Tobin. How you doing today, my man?
I'm good, man. I feel fine. How are you?
I'm good too, man. It's a beautiful, hot, humid day today, and what a day, man. You stinking Heat fans. You thought we were done, didn't you, Tobin? And by the way, where's Leroy? He got sick all of a sudden?
He's out. He's taking a little time off. He'll be back Monday.
The humidity got him, Richie. It was too hot outside.
I can't wait for Monday. When we win this series and he's there. This is great. Hey, J Fig, how you doing? Dono, my man, how you doing?
Richie, I miss you, man.
Richie, just you know how we're all doing. Stop with the pleasantries.
Where's Vlad?
I'm right here, Richie.
Hi, my brother, my Knicks brother. Now listen up, stinking Heat fans. This is what's going to happen. We don't go away, man. We're like the rats in New York, baby. We ain't going nowhere. Tobin, we're coming here tomorrow, Game 6, win that, and then win Game 7, and bye-bye Heat. Get ready to golf. Okay, you puppets?
Dude, you got no shot. It's over. You know
you
that.
mean no
You had
shot?
your little
Tell me
pride
why.
game. It's good
Tell
for
me
you guys.
why.
You made Ben.
Tell me why.
I'll tell you why. Because the Heat played terribly. They fouled out. They nearly every player nearly fouled out. Sent you guys to the line a gazillion times, and they still almost pulled it out with you guys having heroic efforts from all of your stars, and you still almost got destroyed by Duncan Robinson.
That's a great point. Our stars played great. And our bench didn't. But our bench is going to come back.
You don't have a bench.
We're going to kill you guys, bro.
Your bench, Josh Hart had to leave the game in 4 minutes because he got 5 fouls in 4 minutes. He left to the locker room.
Don't worry about that. Now, I'm hearing from New York.
Isn't it amazing, though? Isn't it amazing how you guys go? No, you listen. No, you listen to me. It is amazing, though, Richie, how you guys went from Josh Hart as the key to the series to now you never want him to play because you want Quentin Grimes out there. It is crazy how that flipped. That went like that.
Tobin, I heard from
Rats
New York,
off a ship, dude.
From New York.
You want to talk about New York Rats right off a ship on the Josh Hart bandwagon, huh? Just like that.
Tebow, hey, our coach, he's going to put the guys in air-conditioned bubbles when they get off the plane, okay? So everything's going to be all right.
I hope so, because Lord knows that Kaseya Center's cold enough. You guys are going to be like a bunch of fat penguins out there. Everybody's worried that Scott Foster is coming in for this game, though.
Oh, I did think about that.
Knicks MVP, Scott
They're going to bring the extender in for this one?
He doesn't have a game tonight. Everybody's very nervous, Dono, that he's going to be there back with his shenanigans.
No game tonight?
Apparently, he doesn't have a game tonight.
No, he's coming for sure then.
He's coming Game 6 or Game 7.
He's going to be brought out there. He's going to be introduced by Mike Piamonte with the Knicks.
No, we were talking about the Heat are either 4.5 or 5-point favorites for tomorrow night. If I find out Scott Foster is assigned to that game, that line's going to go from Heat -5 to Heat -1.5. Like
that is going to be interesting to see. Yeah, how that does swing the line. If people are really buying into the Scott Foster thing,
yeah,
that will be.
That's because of you.
What do you mean?
What are you talking? That's because of you. What are you talking about? People are buying in.
Well, I mean, it is very the stats are the stats, Flat. I don't know what to tell you, dude.
Yeah.
Tobin, unbelievable.
I gave you nothing but credit today. What are you telling me? I told you guys deserve credit for showing the guts. But you listen, dude. You know that Scott Foster game that was fugazi. I mean, get out of here. Get out of here,
Look at that
dude.
smile. That
smile
on your
face. I mean,
face.
just be real about it. You guys know you got away with one. That's fine.
We didn't get away with it.
You got away with one.
He's the sixth man, and everybody knows that.
Congratulations on your first. Congratulations on your first true win of the series last night.
Oh yeah. Did you see Josh? Did Josh Hart thank the officials after the game last night?
I don't know because he just basically spent the entire game on his ass because he couldn't stop fouling people.
There you go.
I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen a guy get so frustrated by fouls. He left to the locker room for a break. He needed a mental break. He's just like, wow, 4 fouls in 3 minutes. I'm out of here.
Dude, you know what's funny? Like, we just heard there from Richie, and literally every New York Knicks fan is talking like Richie. I was watching during the commercial break, I was watching this video that's going around of these Knicks fans on the street outside of MSG after the game last night, and they're cursing up a storm. Knicks in 7. We're gonna beat the mother bleeping Heat, and they're going crazy. They say,
they never learn.
I'm gonna smoke that Miami pack, is what they keep saying. It's like they're very confident and very loud.
No, they're just very loud. That's all
Yeah,
they are. They
true.
don't know how to be any other way. They're just loud and delusional. That's all they are. It's a sad thing to see. It's like why I'm like, you know what? Let them have their one last little cell. I'm sure they'll put a banner up for it. Took 2 games against the Heat. That'll be up in the rafters at MSG, right up there in the Mecca.
Yeah. And the big thing is they seem to think that the NBA is only relevant like when the Knicks are winning championships. Well, I got news for you. You haven't won a championship since 1973, and I think the NBA is doing all right. Right? It's like you got to get the Knicks. The Knicks have got to win a title, otherwise the NBA is completely meaningless. The Knicks have got to be good. Okay, I think the NBA has been doing all right for the last.
It's
50
been fine.
years.
Business has been booming. All right. But look, good for them. They got their win. I still keep going back. I still can't believe they if it really was a normal road game, the Heat still should have probably lost that game by 20 yesterday. The fact that they were still within 3 with 2 minutes left, I'm just like, what they know what's coming for them tomorrow night, dude. I mean, the Knicks are gonna get slaughtered tomorrow night, quite frankly. It's gonna be bad. I don't even think it's gonna be competitive.
I'll be there.
You'll be there watching the ship go down?
Yeah, you know what I did yesterday?
What did you do?
Well, I didn't like this Heat positivity, all this Heat. I had to do the game yesterday. So I wore my Starks jersey and I took my jersey.
You produced the game wearing a Starks jersey?
I produced the game wearing a Starks jersey.
That's disgusting.
I hope Tommy Tighe slapped you.
No, Tommy was proud. Tommy was proud. Solana, on the other hand, not so proud.
I hope Solana
what I
slapped
did,
you.
I took the jersey and I made sure that I put it all over the board, all over the keyboards, all over anything that was Miami Heat.
We got to bring the COVID protocol back.
No, forget that. I am infecting this place with Nickdom.
So you want to put a hex on this place?
I am infecting this place with Nickdom.
I don't think that's gonna work, dude.
It worked yesterday.
Well, if that makes you feel better.
I'm gonna come before the game. I'm gonna come in, do the same thing, and then go to the game.
Did you happen to come into contact with Kevin Love? Is that why he was building a brick house yesterday?
What happened there? There was no outlet passes.
I don't know, man. He was terrible.
Finally. Jeez.
Chapo, what's going on, Chapo?
You.
What's up, buddy? How are you? You're on the air.
It's Chapo. How you doing?
I said that.
Hey, Chapo.
I didn't hear you. Hey, look. I'm not calling to bash Vlad. I want to congratulate him on his one true victory. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But after hearing this little Starks little bamboozlement that he tried to pull, I'm like, you should take that back because don't forget where you're at. I know you got your little hexes and things, but this is 305 Dade County, home of the Santeros. Okay, so we're gonna put a real curse on the Knicks. It's Heat in 6. I got black Timberlands, black Levi's, black tee, black bandana, funeral attire.
Jesus.
Let's go! Woo!
My God, this guy's all black everything.
He is
He's ready.
He is. Chapo does not like the bad karma that's getting spewed around.
Putting a hex on your Knicks.
All right, we'll see.
I really thought that when Jimmy Butler hit that jumper, though, I thought it was over. I was
Same.
like, oh, here he comes. Here he comes. Wasn't there last night. But they had their chances, man. I mean, those open threes. I mean, how many open threes did the Heat miss last night?
Oh.
It was wide open, too.
Well, they were
Just
13 for 43. Probably a good 35, 40 of those were pretty wide open.
I think it actually was something like that. I think Anthony Chang tweeted it was in the 30s, Dono, of how many wide open threes they had last night. And yeah, he tweeted out in total 36 of the Heat's 43 attempts on Wednesday's game were classified as open or wide open by NBA tracking data.
And they missed some layups too. It felt like one of those nights when you're on the road and you're missing some point blank layups. You're like, oh, it's going to be one of those nights. But then it was weird because they missed a couple layups in the first quarter, but then they went on that big run. They led by 10 in the first quarter. That was just a weird herky-jerky game last night.
Very weird game. Very weird game, especially with the first quarter being as crazy as it was with all the bad offense that was going on. And then the Knicks would go on this. They went on a great run to start the second quarter. He bounced back. I did think like that play where Jimmy had the block on I don't was it Brunson or Barrett that he had the block on. I think it was Barrett.
And then what? Bam.
And then Bam got the
It
slam.
was Brunson. He got the steal.
Yeah, that was a great play. I was like, oh, that was a sick slam. And then Bam is the thing with him. Like Bam had a good game, but you know, you're in this spot where like the only thing I could really look to him is like maybe give the ball less to Kevin Love and let Bam kind of go cook a little bit more. Yeah. But you're in that spot where you're down 20, you need threes, and Bam doesn't shoot threes. So like I don't really know what he's supposed to do there or how to get involved. You know, he did get set up by Kyle Lowry for some dunks and had some like he played a fine game. Both Bam and Jimmy were decent. And they need and the Knicks stars were awesome. Like you needed those guys, you needed better out of your best guys, and you needed something out of your role guys. And the only guy you really got anything out of was dunks. So
what did the Knicks big three? What did they have? 86 points last night. I think they combined for. It was crazy. And then the bench was completely non-existent. But listen, when your backs are against the wall, that's what you need, right? You need
just win.
You need your stars to score.
And yeah. How about Spo going to Hacker Robinson? That backfired on him.
Yeah,
but it was a good strategy. I didn't hate it because every time I've seen Mitchell Robinson get up there, it looks like a guy who's shot putting the basketball. So I thought it was a good play by Spo.
That was a smart move.
Didn't work. And then Mitchell Robinson made him pay.
He made 3 out of 4, and they quickly put Hartenstein right in.
I know, like Tibbs not tempting fate. He's like, oh, that's pretty good. We got to get out of here. Get him out of there. So, you know, fair play to you. As what do the blokes say over there? Dono, you love the soccer.
Play. Hey, yeah, we like the proper football. I don't. Yeah. Fair play. Yeah, I think that's what
fair play to you.
Fair play, lad.
So, but it's over tomorrow, dude. I don't know what to tell you, Vlad. I'm sorry. You're going to be owing Leroy, you know, I don't know if it's going to be Capitol Grill or a corn dog, whatever the hell it is. You're going to
Who else, Flat? Who else did you make? I know Leroy and Dan Day. Did you make
Joe Rose?
Joe Rose 3 bets out?
Yeah, I got 3 bets out.
Well,
but are you? Is Joe Rose really going to make you buy him dinner? Because I feel like
no, it's not dinner. It's Dunkin' Donuts. I'm not dumb. I'm not going to have
Dunkin'
him.
Donuts.
I'm not going to gamble with him. About that. I got him for Johnny Blue. He's going to try to get me for even something worse.
We get you on the payback there.
Yeah.
So no, we decided Dunkin' Donuts.
We'll take a quick break. Roll things on after this. With ya, 560 WQAM. Take you up until 2 o'clock here on the show. Streaming live on the Odyssey app, AUDACY. Also on YouTube and Twitch. Miami 560 WQAM is where you guys can get in on the chat and getting all the fun there. We are reacting to yesterday's Miami Heat loss. The Panthers, they also lost yesterday. Tough one for the Cats as they went into this one and they had a chance to end the Toronto Maple Leafs at home. Unable to do so. Still not nervous, Dono. 3-1 lead is very healthy, even if it is hockey. I'm not scared.
No, I'm not scared at all about that. Obviously for Toronto, they're going to want their superstars who were really doing nothing in those first 3 games to catch fire and continue to play so. But with this 3-1 cushion, man, you just have to win one of these last 3 games. And at least the goaltending is going to be on point. Like the Panthers net was under siege for the entire game last night. But
yeah,
Sergei Bobrovsky was far from the reason the Cats lost that game. The dude has been standing on his head. And so, at some point, Kachuk and Carter Verhaeghe and hopefully Sasha Barkov wake up and light the lamp again. They're going to win one of these final 3 games.
I think so too. I mean, I know it is hockey, so you got to always give it a little bit of a side eye. Weird stuff happens. Hell, they're an 8 seed and they're almost in the conference finals.
Well,
but,
and you talk about coming back from down 3-1. The Panthers, the Panthers just did that. They didn't come from down 3-0, which is what the Maple Leafs have to do, but they did come back.
I used to get into that argument. Yeah, I used to get in that argument with Robbie all the time because Robbie's like, well, now it's 3-1. Now you can come back. I'm like, no, that's not how it works. You don't get to retroactively make it a 3-1. You're down 3-0. You have to lose 4 games in a row. That's not how it works. It's like anybody who wants to throw the pressure. It's like, well, the pressure's now on the Heat to win at home. Like, not really. Like the pressure's on the Knicks. They're do or die. Like you can't make that stuff up. It's impossible in the playoffs to bring that type of energy. Now, I kind of like, as I gotta be honest with you, I didn't realize, I've been told on the peripherals, I didn't know or realize how obnoxious the Maple Leafs fans were. Like they are
Tobin.
They are unctuous. I don't like them.
They're worse than Knicks fans.
They are.
So, and it's funny because obviously I'm not Canadian, I'm a South Florida kid, but I like hockey, but I've had a chance to, get to know so many Canadian former NHL players and broadcasters. And when I talk to these guys about Maple Leafs fans, it's always like, oh, they're the worst. Like to the point where, a lot of players when they play in Toronto may prefer, to be traded other places because they don't want to have to deal with that ridiculous pressure and spotlight that they get there. That team hasn't won a Stanley Cup since I want to say the 1960s. And they're
some of the photos they were putting on the broadcast yesterday. Like they had they didn't even have masks. They're like playing hockey, no helmets, no masks. The goalie was out there. He wasn't even protected. I'm like, this is what you guys look for as your rich tradition. Like, what are you guys like the first name on the first layer of the Stanley Cup when it was actually just a cup? It was like, I don't even understand where this arrogance comes from, but man, like they come into this series, they're chanting that they want Florida. Seems to be a wild mistake by them. But I'm seeing like some of these street talks. They're like, why does Florida even have a team? That's not even a real hockey team. I'm just like, what? Hey, what do you guys think? We're back at original 6 times? Like, yes, times have expanded. I know Canada gets probably really pissed because they don't seem to have the hockey success that the other NHL teams did for whatever reason. I don't know this. I'm not Barry Melrose. But, man, I have very much enjoyed every time the Panthers have won in this series going to those shots outside of Scotiabank to see the sad Leafs fans. It's pretty good. I didn't realize I could hate them that much.
It's great. And that was one of the specific things I remember talking with Bill Lindsay about this. And he even said, it's really annoying the way that Maple Leafs fans and just people involved with that organization, they don't feel like Florida should even have a hockey team. It's like, okay, are you mad that we're kicking your ass? Like, oh, you don't think we should have a hockey? Guess what? We don't have ice down here, and you guys still can't beat us in hockey.
I know. Well, much to Mike Greenberg's surprise, he doesn't even know how this works. This indoor hockey in South Florida.
Wait, they got a roof on that building?
I don't understand. Arenas, huh? How does that work? It's crazy, but yeah, man, I'm with you. Bob was awesome yesterday. I felt, especially in that second period, I felt like he He kept the Panthers in this as much as they could, but you got to credit Toronto. They were able to just really flush to the Panthers, who I feel like in the series have been able to just always find that next gear to get that goal. And just for whatever reason yesterday, they just couldn't do it. Even just getting Bob off the ice was a headache yesterday in the final 90 seconds or so. So, there's still this is not a bad spot though. You come in and try and do it in their ice. Good. That makes them even sadder. They get to witness the series ending. It'll bring me great joy.
They've already won 2 games on their ice to this point. Maybe that's because the ice is just so much better up in Canada. The Panthers are able to skate more freely up there. We've already taken 2 from them up there. I don't see why we can't do it again.
I'm trying to figure this out though, because I'm going to be boots on the ground tomorrow for the Heat, and so I guess I got to plug in. I'll watch this. But man, that was the other thing with yesterday. It was like it was with the 2 screens trying to keep up with hockey, but you're also keeping your eye on the Heat. It is a pain in the ass, and I got to say, what a terrible job by these leagues making us go through this.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. Like, I'm not a great I know some folks who have, like, they live for this, where they've got like I know one dude who's got kind of like his man cave is like a sports book. He's got a bunch of TVs and he just loves watching 3-4 games at once. I prefer to focus on one thing. So I've got like 80% of my attention on the Heat game last night, but then I'm trying to put more attention on the Panthers game, and I'm missing stuff that's happening in both games. I much prefer to stagger the nights, and it's too bad apparently the NHL and NBA don't communicate on that kind of stuff. They could care less, but I wish they would.
But I don't think it was their fault, guys. I think last weekend with South Florida having so many events, that's why they didn't want to put them against each other. You had the Knicks, you had Knicks Heat, you had F1, you had Panthers, Maple Leafs. If they've trying to figure out a day where they're not competing against each other, and unfortunately, but
now we've ended up with 2 in a row where this is and it's 2 in a row, and you're trying to, like I said, you're trying to watch your teams close out a series. It's not like, hey, one's on game 1 and the other's on game 4. This one has, like, these are both huge games that we have to watch with both teams trying to move on to the conference finals. And I'm like, I who do I go to here? What do I watch? Because I was struggling with it, because it was like, the Panthers are a goal away. The Heat, they're kind of coming back. It was a nightmare yesterday.
Yeah.
And they don't care.
No.
Get this together, Bettman. And why can't they get on a conference call together and be like, you know what? Even do a little bit of a time difference, They put a Bucks game at 9:30 that we had to watch.
Yeah.
There's no way we can't figure this out and, like, put the Knicks game on at, like, I don't know, 8:30, and then do the stupid West Coast game at like 11:30. Something like that. Give me a little bit of breathing room so I can have the important part of the game, the clutch part of the game for one team over, and then I can move on to the next game. But yesterday, holy crap. It was exhausting.
Well, and also the NBA, the way that they space out playoff games, because they do it obviously to optimize TV for certain nights, but it's like sometimes you've got 3 nights in between games in the same series. Other times you've got just 1 night in between. So it's like you couldn't have used like a 2-nighter break this time around so we could get Panthers on Friday, Heat on Saturday.
Very weird. Loud says, I only watch the Heat, never watched a hockey game. Not going to start now. You're missing out, dude.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man.
Loud. That's on you.
And listen, I don't judge bandwagoners, because obviously I've seen it with the Marlins when they won World Series. I've seen it with Panthers fans before. The run to the Stanley Cup Finals in 1996, it captivated this entire city. I get it that there's a lot of people who don't care about hockey that are going to start watching when a playoff run is happening, but that's fine. It's your city. It's your team. Enjoy it. If you don't like hockey, you might enjoy watching a team fighting for a championship. I'm okay if you jump on a bandwagon late.
Yeah. I mean, like, look, the Panthers are getting now over these last few years, they're getting, and I feel like they have built a very, very good fan base, a very, very loyal fan base. That building rocks. They ride with that team. They're very hard. And honestly, they've gotten to do what the Marlins really never have, which is like just consistent years of winning. Because we all assume down here, oh, baseball just doesn't work. But I really don't know what it looks like, because every time they've had success, it's been torn down basically immediately. And especially in that building, they've never done it in the new building where they've had consistent winning or a consistent product that people are just like, oh, these are my guys. I'm excited about watching them. And so I don't really know. I don't know what the answer is if baseball could ever work down here. But I do feel like the Panthers have proven, like, no, you give many years in a row of winning and a product that people want to watch and exciting guys that people can rally around. You know, and even adding a guy like Kachuk, who seems like even more of a charismatic star than they had with Huberto. Yeah, I feel like the Panthers are building a foundation for a lot of diehard local fans for a long time to come. I think this is, you know, if it can work in Tampa and other markets, Vegas, like I definitely feel like Florida is establishing itself as a place where this is definitely going to work, much to the Maple Leafs fans' chagrin.
Yeah, and listen, I look at hockey's kind of a different conversation because people don't necessarily grow up like loving it down here. You kind of have to, the team has to give you a reason to get into it. But like I look at baseball kind of in the same way as I look at soccer. Like the fans are here because when they have big international friendlies down here in soccer, I mean, Hard Rock Stadium it's jacked and it's crazy. And it's the same thing like World Baseball Classic when you've got big games down here, people go crazy for it. You know, I've seen, you know, in the years they've made World Series runs, I've seen, you know, standing room only at Marlins games before. So like the fans are here for soccer and baseball. You just actually have to give them a consistently good product that they can support.
All right, we'll flip on over. We'll hear a little bit from your Florida Panthers as they get ready for this game 4 and react to last night. So we'll get into some more cat talk brought to us by Celsius. We roll on. We got Goosies, no Goosies coming up next hour. Very excited for that, Dono. We'll be back with more after this. right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. Leroy's out today. Alex Dono co-hosting with me today. It's good to have Dono. Wow, did you switch rooms?
I did. Yeah,
Wow.
I want to play some grand piano after the show, so I want to position myself.
That's classy, dude. I didn't know you were a pianist.
I classically trained pianist.
That's incredible. You surprise me every day, Dono. One day you're getting me into mixed martial arts. The other day, I'm learning that you love classical music. You're a marvel, my friend.
He's a man of many talents.
He is.
And secrets.
Dono's the Robin Leach of this place, man. Lifestyles of the rich and famous,
true.
man. Look at
It's true. Dono, are you bummed Robbie Lawler's last fight's coming up? I learned that yesterday. I didn't know like kind of like not surprising, but kind of like out of nowhere, like Robbie Lawler's going to call it a career in July.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit annoyed that he took that win against my guy Nick Diaz in that fight a while back. So I don't know. I'm not a fan of anybody who takes W's against the Diaz brothers. So he can retire if he wants.
I love Robbie Lawler, man. He's going in the him versus McDonald's going in the Hall of Fame. So I guess that's
my God,
that fight was incredible.
I mean,
that fight was.
Your boy McGregor's doing
took
something.
years off their lives. That
Bro,
fight.
do you guys see what's going on with McGregor? Like how much HGH is flowing through that guy?
Oh,
like
a little too much.
Like they released this video yesterday of him shoving Michael Chandler, but he just looked like this guy looks juiced to the gills.
Yeah.
His face doesn't look the same.
And you add a little whiskey to that, it's over.
It's like I gotta say they sold the hell out of this Ultimate Fighter. I don't watch the Ultimate Fighter. I stopped watching the Ultimate Fighter like this is the Kimbo season, the last season I watched of Ultimate Fighter.
Wow.
Maybe a little ATT versus Black Zillions mixed in there, but it always the same thing. It's like after a couple episodes, I'm usually like, all right, I'll catch you in the finale.
Dude, so when they had the ATT versus Black Zillions season, Frank Zaffrey and we snuck in to one of those because we weren't really supposed to go because you had to be like part of the gym, but a friend of ours snuck us in to ATT and like I thought they were going to be like fight because it was standing room only in there, like people like crowded in there and they're all like fighters. Like it's all people from the Black Zillions and ATT. And I thought we were going to end up like just getting in a fight, like not by trying to, believe me, but it was getting pretty crazy in there. And then I think after that was over, Frank Z pissed somebody off and he thought that somebody from the gym was like trying to follow him home. Like he had a tail on him after that event. It was crazy.
There's some strange things going on in the fight world, but Conor McGregor being his face is like what's going on with his face? Like it's like a block now.
Yeah, and then you feel like the combination of like the roid rage with owning your own whiskey company, that's probably a pretty volatile combination for a guy who's had anger management issues.
Not only that,
they don't mix.
Listen,
no,
this guy also loves the favorite drug down here as well. Like that dude is
he likes the white girl.
He does. He likes and so you just mix all that together on top of him already being a menace. I don't know, man.
He lives life in the fast lane.
He really does.
But you're right about the Ultimate Fighter though, because I haven't watched it consistently. The last time I watched it consistently was, do you remember when they did the live season and then they never did live ever again, where the fights were live every week, but the fighters hated it because they had to be there instead of being in the house for like 4 weeks, they were in the house for 15 weeks, which was just, it was crazy. Like that was the last, that was like season 14 or 15, and that was like 10 years ago. I haven't watched consistently since then.
I haven't. Well, because it's basically like, first of all, I think Dana just keeps it around for petty, like because everybody's been saying, hey, just end the Ultimate Fighter. He goes, no, not ending it. And then he has this whole Contender Series, which is pretty cool. Like people seem to really like it. So he very clearly likes that a lot more, but they're still like just throwing that Ultimate Fighter together. But this is like, you got Conor McGregor doing a season where he's probably going to fight the guy afterwards. Yeah, I'm definitely going to tune into a few episodes and see if it keeps me around. But
is this on ESPN Plus? Because I would figure that if this is on ESPN Plus, ESPN would probably want Conor there to get the ratings, to get the viewership.
Yeah, I think it is on ESPN. Yeah, it's on ESPN Plus.
Because it's very weird that Conor would be doing this at this stage in his career.
I agree. It is strange. Like it's kind of it almost seems beneath him, but also like what is he doing? Because we don't know if he can even fight because of his leg.
Right. So it's like maybe they're just selling the fight because they know when the night of the fight, it might be a little one-sided the other way.
Maybe that's what it is. Anyway, Somebody who maybe needed a little bit more roid rage last night, the Panthers. They lost 2-1. Against some cat talk here brought to us by our friends over at Celsius. Hockey fans, don't sit this one out. When it's game time, make Celsius a part of your play and get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of the Florida Panthers. We tried sending it to you, Donald, but your guards outside, they kept them out of the mansion, so they turned them away.
Yeah, they
Sorry for misunderstanding.
They're armed and dangerous, those guards outside. It's like the guards that Michael Corleone had outside in The Godfather Part 2.
Let's hear from Sergei Bobrovsky in the locker room afterwards, J-Fig, if we could. This is Bob on yesterday not getting the win.
Yeah, well, we had a good game, I thought. We don't have to do anything different. We just have to keep playing our game, be patient. And, yeah, they are a good team. So it's nobody said it's going to be easy. And it is what it is. So we're going back to Toronto and the series going to go on.
Did you see that the first one, the power play that went off the ref? I mean, obviously it changed a big direction before it got on his stick.
Yeah, it's a little unlucky bounce, but it is what it is. So I thought we had a good game. We compete, we fight, we play solid defensive game. And yeah, they are a good team as well. So that's the score tonight.
The second one was just a lot of traffic out front. Is that kind of what happened on the second one?
You mean second goal? Yeah, there was traffic. Yeah.
On that, both goals. First one, Wolves fluky. Second one in traffic. Do you like how the team kind of limited those wide open scoring chances for them tonight?
Say again.
How the defense limited the really quality looks for the Leafs tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I thought again, guys did a great job for the whole series. And defensively we were well and played well, and yeah, it's we're getting ready for next game.
What's the disappointment in not closing them out? As you guys saw, what happens when you don't close a team down?
Well, it is what it is. As I said, they are a good team. So it's series is go on, and it was a great game. It was so much fun. Atmosphere was great. Again, I was fortunate to be there, to be on the ice, and had a good game. Had fun out there. So looking forward for next game.
There you go. Sergei Bobrovsky after game 4. Not rattled.
Nope.
Not rattled.
Has he ever been rattled?
Not phased.
Never. No.
He was
Like
born calm.
Silly Sauce says, I've been impressed with how level-headed Bob is. That's really how he is at all points.
Yeah,
Like,
I've never seen Bob lose his cool, right?
No. No. He's just very, especially after games,
very complimentary to the other team.
They're a good team. I think that's the thing. But, you can't you have already put yourself in a good position. You have a chance to, you got, plenty of cracks to close this series out. Yeah, I get it. It just happened to you. So, don't, heed warning. But it's all right. You didn't sweep them. Guess what? You're still in a pretty good spot. You could beat them in 5. You don't beat them in 5. You get another closeout game in your building, just like the Heat. It's like you lose yesterday. Yeah, it sucks. You lost an opportunity, but you still had a chance there at the end. And now, guess what? This is the whole advantage of taking back home court advantage in the first 2 games. You have a chance to close out the game, to close out the series in your building. That's the beauty of it. It's not like yesterday we're trying to do, well, is the pressure now on you because you're, now it's in your building? I can see it, but our season doesn't end, so it's still not as much pressure as the season ending.
I know, but if you go by talking about the Heat situation for a second, I get what you're saying, but then if it does get to a Game 7, I saw the stat this morning. Home teams in Game 7s win 75.9% of the time. Not to say that this Knicks team particularly scares me, but it's a Game 7 on the road, 75.9% of the time. That's something.
Yeah, I get it, but it's one of those things where you're getting I don't look at tomorrow as a high pressure situation. I look at it as a great chance. You're getting a place you haven't lost yet in the playoffs. You earned this chance by winning one of the first 2 games, and that's the beauty of it. I would have. It just doesn't feel like losing a game yesterday. Just doesn't feel like this blow. I think it's just that happens in the playoffs sometimes. Not everybody plays up to every single level. That's why series are fascinating to watch, the ups and the downs. But, I don't see Jimmy Butler having another 19-point game. I see him probably bouncing back in a big way. I see the shooting bouncing back in a big way because, these guys have been pretty damn good now we're talking 10 games in this postseason, very high pressure games, and they've mostly performed it, especially in that building. Same thing goes for the Panthers. It's like, all right, you didn't have that opportunity. You finally had a game where you weren't able, in 6 games, you weren't able to get that lone goal to get yourself back even in a crazy situation. But you want to know something? You almost did. And you probably will. You probably bounce back in a big time way. So while it was not a closeout Wednesday, we're making it a closeout Friday, dude. I mean,
here you go again.
I'm telling you, it's going to be a closeout Friday. And I can't wait. We're going to have a great party.
Jinx.
No, it's not a jinx, dude. It's just the facts. It's a closeout Friday. You know what?
-1.
Close out Friday to close out the week. That's how we're going to do it.
Okay.
That's how we're going to do it. Close out Wednesday.
Well, at least it's a Friday night, so I know I can either drink happily at the end of those games, or I can drown my sorrows at the end of those games.
Drown your sorrows in some of that McGregor slop.
You know, I've never tried the proper number 12, but I've heard anyone who's tried it tells me not so good. Like I've never actually had never had it for myself.
Chaser.
You had it with a chaser?
Yeah, like the pickle juice.
Was it good?
Yeah,
Pickle
it's pretty
juice.
good.
Pickle juice.
What are you,
Pickle
Jay
juice?
Ajayi?
Yeah, I forgot what they call it. It's pretty good. I mean,
Jay, that's a
it's
good
better
one.
than I thought. I don't know.
It was better than you thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it tastes like gasoline.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not good. I don't know what the apple one is like though. Maybe that's a little bit better. I know you got
probably
a new apple
gasoline
flavor.
with apple flavor.
As a matter of principle, I'm not a big fan of like flavored liquor. Like I don't know. I kind of, you know, I feel like it's
understand.
kind of a cop
It's called
out.
a pickleback.
There's
That's what it was.
yeah,
It's called a what?
A pickleback.
that's what it like. That's what they call it, a pickle chaser.
Mm-hmm.
Pickleback.
Try it.
I don't like
Butler.
pickles. I probably
I
wouldn't
won't
like
double
that.
back.
I don't
on
like
that.
pickle. Well,
Jimmy
okay.
Butler's favorite band.
Before Nashville, I didn't like pickles.
-1 on you, man.
Why?
-1.
It's called Nickelback, not Pickleback.
Samesies. It's a
No!
one letter.
Pickleback.
He was trying to make it a Jimmy thing.
He's trying to bring it to the heat so bad. I'm like, wait a minute, we're talking about Pickleback.
I did like how yesterday Jimmy Butler wanted to make everybody clear. He goes, "Listen, we lost. I'm still playing music in that locker room. Like we know.
Yeah,
we
he
know,
did.
We know, dude. Trust me. Doesn't matter what, because he's gonna play that music. Because that Nickelback story came after losing to the Magic. That dude's gonna play his music. He doesn't care.
What do you think he played yesterday?
I don't know. Didn't get any
It was a
reports.
quiet locker room.
That's not what that. Well, no.
So
it's-
far away. Is that Nickelback?
Yes, that is it, Nickelback.
But it's not far away, so he didn't play that.
Well, he's in New York. Probably play some Ramones or something like that. He's probably old school like that.
He is old school like that. He's got a very eclectic taste. That's how he rolls.
Drinks a
Draymond
couple
Green's out.
Michelob's.
Draymond Green's out here peacocking, huh? Good for them. They kept it going.
Yeah.
Why are you thinking they're peacocking? They could actually win this series.
Well, I mean, listen, if Anthony Davis isn't going to play, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That is a big problem.
Well, they're doing the tour analysis on Anthony Davis. They're making sure
They're
that
going to get him the Dolphins doctor.
Are they
they're
trying to end
definitely
his
not getting
career
the
too?
Dolphins
Like,
doctor.
has anyone said that AD needs to retire? Besides
not
me,
seen
I
that.
think I've said that a few times. But
Somebody get Chris Nowinski on the line and see if Anthony Davis is allowed to play this game. Only Chris Nowinski can let us know if it's okay for Anthony Davis to play Game 6.
we got to get Dr. Bennett Amalu. You're the guy from the movie Concussion, because you remember he weighed in on Tua. He was like, I think it's always interesting when you've got. And I'm not saying he's not, a reputable doctor. I mean, Will Smith played the guy in a movie, so there's got to be some, solid reputation there. But like, isn't it weird how many doctors, like these sports doctors who try to get clicks and retweets, how they're going to diagnose someone they've never treated? Isn't that a big thing in the medical community where you're only supposed to say so much about someone you've never actually treated? But
Tell
the
the
Twitter
truth,
doctors,
Daniel.
yeah.
Until you get
Tell the truth, Donald.
until you get called up by CNN and then they're like, oh, yeah, it's a
Right.
free advertisement. Yeah, I'll go
Right.
on there. What do you want me to say? Oh yeah, you shouldn't play. Yeah, that's bad football, bad.
Dude,
Tua.
Tobin, I don't know if you remember there was this old I'm probably going to refrain from saying his name just because I don't know if he's had his name cleared since then, but there used to be this like really famous famous within like the fight community, because the guy like wrote blogs for fighting websites and he would weigh in on every MMA injury. And I used to have this guy like on shows back in the day quite frequently, and then at some point he was exposed for being a complete fraud. Like apparently
That's
he was doing like unauthorized procedures and he lied about his credentials and
So he
and,
was
like,
based out of down here.
yes, which that's the typical Miami thing, right? And then like I used to have this guy on a lot to discuss fighting injuries, and I always thought like it's so weird how this
So what was he was like remember when Diego Sanchez had that trainer with the guys
Yeah.
like, you need to find the power of lightning? He was like that version of like an injury expert.
Yeah, well, good. And I remember when I used to have this injury expert on, I thought he was such a great radio guest because he was not shy about like talking about diagnosis for anybody's injuries in the fight game and had very strong opinions. Because I'm like, usually doctors don't always like express those opinions so strongly. Then I found out this guy was a total fraud, and I'm like, oh, that explains some of that, I think.
Crazy. Even with last night, the Knicks fans still finding something to complain about with the Heat. That's next.
And today.
and they wish, and they wish, and they wish, and they wishing on me. Yeah. I've been moving calm, don't start no trouble with me. Trying to keep it peaceful is a struggle for me. Don't pull up at 6 a.m. to cuddle with me.
All right.
You know how I like
Welcome back, everybody.
on me.
Sad Leafs fan Drake bringing us in here. You get your extra day, Drake. And that's it. Enough nonsense. Take you guys up until 2 o'clock. Got Goosies, No Goosies coming up later on this hour. See where the goose gets loose. If you missed any of today's show, you get it on the Odyssey app or on all podcast platforms. Alex Dono filling in for Leroy today alongside me, so it's great to have Dono on the show today. Vlad's here today. He's peacocking, even though he's on very little sleep. Even though he's on very little sleep.
You know, I
really thought that you.
I retweeted a video with a bunch of those Knicks fans talking about how they're going to win the series in 7 and yelling, and then somebody commented on the tweet and said, "Those are a bunch of Vlads." Is what someone said.
I love it. That'll be a bunch of Vlads.
It's just Vlad and Richie. They're going to be there. They're going to be parading. The thing that's weird about it, though, like, do you see that this is now a thing that all the Knicks fans are furious with Bam Adebayo? They're calling him a dirty player.
For what?
Because he's just been around all of the injuries that have happened this series. Because yesterday he backhands going for a rebound, Julius Randle in the eye. And so Julius Randle, as we have mentioned, he looks like Rocky Balboa, like the entire thing with his eye closed up. But like they're putting out montages of Bam being just around injuries, or like, look at this guy, dirty player. And they're just like Knicks falling down, stepping on ankles. So now this idea has been, they're so enraged by what's happened. It's not only that the Heat are beating the Knicks, but it's just that Bam is dirty. Like they got something. First of all, the dirtiest play this entire series was by Josh Hart, where he was soccer diving at Jimmy Butler. You guys have the audacity to say that Bam Adebayo is a dirty player? Get the hell out of here.
They got a lot of audacity because they've been complaining about the refs, despite the fact that the worst officiating in the series was Scott Foster in Game 2 that they won. They complain about Adebayo, who, like you described it, he's basically Forrest Gump, where he just happens to be like in the right place at the right time when all this like crazy historical stuff is happening. He just happens to be there, or they're blaming the humidity in the heat for their indoor sports.
Well, listen, it's co-signed, dude.
I'm not co-signing that.
It doesn't matter. It's already in the ether. You can blame Mike Greenberg for that one and Jalen Rose. But like, this is now Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo's out here resorting to the dirty tactics.
He could never win. Either he has to be more aggressive,
right,
or
win.
He's playing dirty. Right. Come on,
you're
guys.
right, J Fig. The dude can't win. It's
Come
like,
on.
hey, he's either
pick a side,
too passive, or he's he's dirty because Mitchell Robinson doesn't know where to put his feet.
Stop elbowing guys.
Get out of here, dude. Get your face out of the way.
Oh, come on, man.
He says he's not peacocking. Look at his headline.
They get
on to Game 6.
People get very mad because people around the league think he sends illegal screens. And what I tell you is, do your screens better. I don't know what to tell you. Like, if you guys can't get around him, that's your problem. He's just been doing this thing illegally for 4 years. Nobody's caught on to it.
Hey, Scott Foster, just recognize this. Just remember this. This guy's just.
You want Scott Foster to give a hard warning like he's a boxing referee?
Hey, listen, because of you now, I started looking into referees. One of the referees yesterday was from Miami.
I know.
Really?
He was actually, he went to high school, I think 2 years. I think he was 2 years behind Udonis Haslam. Was it Goebel, I think?
He knows UD. That's UD's guy.
Listen, doesn't matter. That's why he's an impartial referee. Scott Foster's not.
Scott Foster is impartial.
No, what's impeccable is his record as a New York Knicks official, which is undefeated, never lost.
His record as officiating Heat games, they've never won.
No, it's like he is the extender. And listen, he's coming into if he is the Heat Knicks official tomorrow, I'm sorry, that's fishy. Like, honestly, the fact that it's just even in the ether, if Adam Silver has the audacity to
put it out there, Silver.
If he does that, that's wrong. That's a wrong thing to do.
If Foster's working that game, if anybody wants to like travel up to MSG to watch Game 7, you could start booking your tickets. Like, you can get your hotel resis ready. You start picking out the restaurants you're going to eat in.
You're going to see Bam Adebayo fouled out of that game with Scott Foster as the official in one half.
Yep.
They're going to start calling fouls on Bam like he's Duncan Robinson for just existing.
Bam's got 2 fouls right now.
He's going in. It's like, listen, guys, new rules tonight. Bam, you only get 4 tonight. What? Yeah, that's right. 2 fouls for Sass. Like, what are we doing? Bam Adebayo is a dirty player. I mean, the things that this, and you know who buys into this nonsense? Ben Stiller. This guy's probably out here. He's like,
he responded again?
Nah, not about this, but you know he's thinking it.
You see what Tobin does? You see what Tobin, he insinuates things
Riling
that,
up.
he insinuates things that are not happening to get this
I'm gonna
fan
check his
base
Twitter
riled
likes.
up.
Go check his Twitter
I'll
right
check
now.
his Twitter likes right now and see if he liked this. Because I bet you he did. Man, this guy likes a lot of tweets about the Knicks.
I wish Bam was a dirty player. We could use a little bit more, a little more edginess, a little more scrappiness from him. Like I watch Bam play every night. I can't call the guy a dirty player. I kind of wish he was a little dirtier. You want to have a guy like that on your side.
Dude, this guy, Ben Stiller, has liked 900 tweets about the Knicks game last night. Like, don't you have movies to make, dude?
No, when you have money, you don't have to worry about that.
Like, what is he doing? Charles Barkley said last night that the Heat's game 6 is their game 7. I would say that's not true. Game 7 is a game 7, Charles.
I need Stiller working on season 2 of Severance. I don't know how long I'm going to wait for. You ever seen that show
Tweet
that
him.
he produces?
Tweet him. He'll answer.
Oh, it's so freaking good. And it's been like 15 months since season 1 came out. I need season 2.
Well, it's been like 15 years since the Knicks have actually won a series. So therefore, he's probably enjoying this moment right now.
The amount of tweets he has on just May 6th.
And this is the only thing. This is a big movie star. This is all he'll tweet about. He's just and you know what the thing is funny about him is the thing that's so pathetic about it is he puts down Mitchell Robinson does the Hacker Robinson yesterday, and so he was asked. Mitchell Robinson goes after the game. He goes, "I'm knocking these down," and he was then his quote after that was he offended by Spo doing? He goes, no, he wasn't offended. He kind of understood it. Yeah. But Ben Stiller responds with this tweet and goes, I'm knocking these down. Like he wants it on the wall of Madison Square Garden. Knicks take game 5 against the Heat. Mitchell Robinson nails 3 free throws. I mean, it's unbelievable.
He even has a helicopter view of the Madison Square Garden.
I love it.
Oh.
He is annoying. He just tweeted out at one point yesterday, boom!
Yeah, and then like RS something.
I don't know why he bothers me so much, but he does.
Leave Gaylord Fokker alone, man.
I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
He's milking this. He's milking these Knicks tweets.
De Niro's definitely been milking.
Trying to get going.
Did you see De Niro at 79?
We talked about this yesterday.
It's not a -1. It's true.
-1.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't believe it's 79 years old. He's just revealing, hey, by the way, just had another one.
It's crazy.
That's
7
nuts.
kids now. Jeez.
Still getting after it, this De Niro.
Bobby D.
He is a bad grandpa.
Yeah.
Apparently he's just a bad paw.
Dude, one of the best De Niro moments was when that movie The Irishman came out a few years ago. So he was probably like 75 when that movie was made. And they used that because they had a bunch of flashbacks in that movie to like, his young days, supposedly. But it was like De Niro acting, but they used anti-aging technology to make him look like he was in his 30s or something. There's this scene in a flashback where 75-year-old Robert De Niro is like kicking the mailman. And it's like he's supposed to be 30 years old. And it's like geriatric and it's like uncomfortable. This guy's supposed to be 30 beating up the mailman. And it was like one of the most cringe scenes I've ever seen in cinema. But he can still get it done in the bedroom, apparently.
Apparently.
He's a sniper.
This man does it. Yeah, he's got kids. So imagine having a 51-year-old kid and a baby.
Dude, he's 79. When that kid is 5, he's going to be 84.
He's lucky he's able to have people to take care of it.
Is he going to see the kids' kindergarten graduation? That's, there's just certain things. Is he going to be there for the big achievement? He's
not going to be there for anything.
No, he won't.
He's not going to be there for anything. And they're just going to say like, hey, what was your dad like? Well, I didn't really know him. I mean, he was done by the time I was in elementary school.
He was Raging Bull like 50 years before I was born.
When you show him like The Godfather, it's going to be like, what is this? Black and white?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Wild, dude. It's just an insane thing. All right. this does not give me the Goosies talking about Robert De Niro getting after it at 80 years old. But we will get the Goosies. Maybe.
Yeah, Goosies?
Goosies, no Goosies. That's next. All righty. Welcome back, everybody. Time to get to our favorite Thursday game. Little Goosies, no Goosies for you. Hey, it's May. We decided to continue Dave & Buster's month. We're going to give you a chance to win a $250 gift card. All you got to do is go to WQAM.com, enter on the contest page, and you guys could win a gift card to Dave & Buster's. If you win, you go there with your gift card and have a party. All on us and Dave & Buster's. Eat, drink, play, watch sports at Dave & Buster's in Hollywood. Don, are you familiar with this game?
Yeah, I played it before with Marcos. I feel like I've made Marcos explain it to me every single time, but I just got to tell you what gives me the Goosies and what doesn't. Is that right?
Pretty much. J-Fig will bring up the topics, and she will let us know, and then we'll let her know if this gives us the Goosies or no Goosies. So, Berterer, the floor is yours.
Okay. Jimmy Butler saying he'd play all 48 minutes next game. Here's what he had to say.
I'm never surprised with anything come playoff basketball time. Your best is needed all 48 minutes, if more. If you're going into overtime, if Spo tells me to play 48 minutes, I will be suited and booted and ready to do that, and we'll win.
Gives me the Goosies. I'll tell you why. It wasn't even the fact that he played 48 minutes. It's the term suited and booted. Goosies. That's what did it for me.
You've never heard suited and booted before?
It's the way he says it. It's just that, that's his
the
response
Jimmy
to it.
connection
It's just the Jimmy, I'm suited and booted. And then he proclaims if he did play 48 minutes, we'd win. He played 43 yesterday. He played a ton of minutes.
He played the whole second half.
He did play the whole second half. Jalen Brunson and Quentin Grimes played the entire game. So the Knicks were definitely playing with desperation. I got to be honest with you. Look, Jimmy Butler can be out there for 48 minutes if he wants to. If he's out there for 48 minutes and not taking 20 shots, it's kind of a waste. Like, get out there and take your 43 minutes. Just take some more shots, Jimmy. That's what I want.
No, take less shots.
No. More shots.
I thought you were confident like 2 segments ago.
No, take less shots. Jimmy. Take less.
You like unselfish Jimmy.
I love unselfish Jimmy.
I hate it. I want Jimmy Butler. When he was doing that, I'm not a scorer. Blah, 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 I hated that. I'm like, no, you get out there, you be a ball hog, and you go out there, you take all the shots. You be Jim VP. Donald, does Jimmy Butler's willingness give you the Goosies?
Goosies galore, especially after just having seen Jalen Brunson play 48 minutes, score 38 points, keep his team alive. If that's what Jimmy's got to do in an elimination Friday, game 6, if Jimmy's got to do that, if he's got to play 48 and probably score 58, if that's what he's got to do to get the job done, let's put these Knicks away on Friday, my friends. Goosies galore.
What about you, J-Fig?
I've got the Goosies.
Yeah,
I wanted to come in with all the heat.
I gotta say, Vlad, what do you think of Jimmy's?
No Goosies.
Come on, man!
Shocker there.
I would like a position where the Heat aren't down 19, so you give Jimmy a little bit of a breather.
I love it when they were down 19.
I was so furious.
Sure.
And then Duncan Robinson just starts deciding, you know what? 3s now.
That was not fun. That was no Goosies right there. I'm like, I don't want him getting his rhythm back. No rhythm for you.
Get it back.
He got it back. All right. He got it back. He was moving.
What's number
like Jagger?
What's number 2, J-Fig?
The NFL schedule released tonight.
No Goosies.
No Goosies.
I feel like we're getting some headliners already. I'm excited about it. It's just not goose worthy for me. It's just not at that level yet. This Tom Brady's already stealing attention, as if he doesn't get enough already.
Why is his name always involved?
Just go move on with your life, dude.
Jesus, aren't you retired?
Robert Kraft. You see what they think of you, Mac Jones? They're already trying to do gimmick night. This is an old Dolphins tactic where they keep bringing Zonka out when the times were rough.
Bailey Zappi will be getting a lot of snaps.
You got the Goosies, Dono, from NFL schedule release tonight?
I got Goosies, mild Goosies
galore.
And I say it because you can't properly play the old radio game of that's a win, that's a loss.
Can't wait for tomorrow.
You can't play it until the schedule is properly laid out. Like, it's one thing to know the 17 opponents, but it's another thing to have the dates and the order and the bye week. So I got Goosies.
What about you, J-Fig?
So what Donald's trying to say is you need to hold off.
No, we got to play it tomorrow.
You got to play it
I
tomorrow.
thought you were gonna wait for Leroy.
He doesn't play anyway.
Yeah, he
You know what?
does.
That's the reason why
eyes.
he wants to do it, because Leroy's not there tomorrow. He can.
And I will be here tomorrow, so
But
let's
where's
play.
the fun in not seeing his reactions?
Because he'll do it again while Leroy's there. It was like,
Maybe
well,
I'll just
Leroy...
call him on speakerphone
Oh
and just
my
put him
God.
on there. Be
He'll
like, hey.
definitely hang up. That's the sad part. We have him here hostage.
Do you get the Goosies from the NFL schedule release, J-Fig?
Like Dono, I have mild Goosies.
Goosies.
Now it's kind of dying down because you don't want to wait for Leroy. I don't know.
Well, you didn't. The topic isn't. Are we the game? That's a win. That's a loss.
Well,
that
that's
obviously
my
gave me Goosies
explanation,
galore.
Too. It's my tie.
What about you, Vlad? You got the Goosies?
I've got Goosies. I've got Goosies galore for this. I want to know what days certain games are going to be. Don't you want to know when the Jets play the Dolphins at home? Don't you want to know when the Ravens play the Dolphins? That's going to be a big game.
I gotta ask you something. What's up with having all the Ravens games, huh? I feel like we play the Ravens every year. Are they in the AFC East? What's up with this?
Well, don't finish second.
Why are they always playing the Ravens?
Don't finish second.
So strange. What's number 3, J-Fig?
Yuri Perez, Marlins top prospect, making MLB
Debut.
What?
Debit?
I feel like people. I don't know.
The butt?
You can say it two different ways.
It's always been debut.
You can say it 2 different ways.
It's always been
I'm
debut.
Hispanic. I'm sorry. The MLB debut.
That should get out of jail.
That sounds so fancy to me.
Minus
That's what they call
Debut. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I'm definitely clipping that.
I can't speak clearly. So the debut on Friday. He'll be the youngest Marlins pitcher ever.
Yeah, I saw that. He's going to be younger than Jose. Gives me Goosies. That's cool. I always like a top prospect call up. I don't know how much attention it's going to get because, Heat and Panthers. I would feel like if it was the Marlins, I might want to wait till Saturday. If they have this top prospect we want to debut. I did see, though, did you see how they, Donna, did you see what they did for him? He's like, he's like the little protege, although he's like 6'8", so he's not physically little, but he's the protege of Sandy Alcantara. And so like they do the thing where they call him into the office and say, "Oh, you're going up to Jacksonville, and just take a look at this." And then it's Sandy welcoming him to the big. So that was kind of Goosies.
Wow, that is cool.
That is Goosies, but bad timing. Friday.
Yeah, I'm going to say no Goosies. For one thing, prospects are suspects until proven otherwise. Let's see this young man get a couple wins, then I'll get excited.
Fair
and
enough.
then Tobin mentioned it. I mean, how am I going to have this on my radar on Friday when we've got the Panthers up 3-1, the Heat up 3-2, both playing that night? Yuri's going to have to wait.
Ethan Schmolnick says, lost my debut card at Applebee's last night.
2 for 20, huh?
My debut card.
Bite me.
For Witcher.
Do you have Goosies from the?
No.
Okay.
He just wants to move on from this one.
Vlad, you got the Goosies from Yuri Perez?
No Goosies.
All right.
No Goosies.
Goosies galore.
Like, is the game even in the afternoon? Like, are they getting that at least? Is that going to help?
Yeah, I hope it's in the afternoon. Otherwise,
Okay, we got this top prospect, guys. No one's going to see it because he's making his debut during the 2 biggest games of the season down here in South Florida. But,
that might be good for him. Less pressure, right?
Oh, there's less. Yeah, listen, that's true. I mean, it is going to be a free flowing thing. And listen, you got to pitch when you got to pitch. I don't think Skip Schumacher cares if he doesn't have any pitchers. He's like, well, I'm sorry. I need guys who can throw. But yeah, that's just such a weird, that's a weird day to do it. What's number 4, J-Fig?
So this is all because of F1 this past weekend. Tom Cruise is reportedly trying to date Shakira. There's also another rumor saying that she denied.
Good for Tom.
No Goosies. He weirds me out.
Why?
I don't know. I just, what Shakira feels. I feel like she can do better. Like if this was Tom Cruise a few years ago, biggest movie star on the planet. I mean, he still may be the biggest movie star on the planet.
Did you see Top Gun 2?
I did not, but I heard it was awesome.
You're one of the few.
That was Goosies.
That was
Goosies.
Goosies.
Such a good movie.
Yeah. She wants to get with Maverick.
Well, she doesn't apparently, but him
think she's
trying. Look, you gotta. I guess you gotta respect Tom Cruise still trying to act like the, the biggest thing in Hollywood. I mean, hell, like you got Robert De Niro knocking people up at 80.
Yeah,
so.
let T. Cruz go with, man. Scientology, baby.
But no Goosies. No Goosies. Shakira, I don't feel like that's a good match for her. I know what's best for her, and that's not Tom Cruise.
So what's best for her?
Wait a minute. You know what's best for her?
What's
What's best for her, Tobin? Is it Tobin Cruise?
No, I was gonna say she feels like she needs to be with a real man like Jimmy Butler.
Wow. All right. Wow.
Oh, what a couple that would be.
Listen, I can't knock that.
Or Bad Bunny.
No.
Oh, they make
that's a
some
big no.
They'd make some bangers though.
No.
Good
That is
music.
true. Bad Bunny and Shakira would tear up the world.
Yep.
No.
Who do you think that she should be with, J Fig?
So there was when she had broken up with what's his
PK?
name? PK?
Yeah.
Whatever.
I love
Not
Gerard
important.
Piqué.
I didn't even realize they broke up.
Superman.
I'm catching up on this whole thing.
Superman.
She
Ooh,
got
Clive
didn't,
Owen?
isn't the whole reason that she caught him?
What's his name?
So apparently, I'm not
Henry
too.
Cavill? What's
Henry
his
Cavill.
name?
Yes, Henry Cavill.
Oh, going with
You know
Superman is a
what?
good revenge for her.
That's a man.
Wow.
That's
How
a
you
man.
know? Because why? Because he's not gonna allow his
He looks the
side piece
part.
to eat her
Jam.
yogurt,
Her jam.
or jam.
What a terrible way to get caught. What an
That is
idiot.
horrible, bro. That is
That guy's like,
that
listen,
is journalism.
listen, we're gonna bump uglies here, but we got one rule: don't eat the wifey's jam. And she just couldn't help herself. That pig.
I've got
Who's
massive
savage?
Goosies. I've got massive. Listen, I like Shakira. Love Tom
galore.
Cruise. Tom Cruise, greatest movie star on planet Earth. That dude, he is a man's man. I don't think Shakira can do better, honestly.
Really?
This guy,
Not
yeah.
even
I
Henry
mean,
Cavill?
I have to agree with.
I'm not a huge fan of
Dono.
Henry Cavill. He's all right, but listen, Tom Cruise, Ethan Hunt in Mission Impossible. He's Maverick and freaking Top Gun. He's done 1,000
Mitchell.
other great movies in between. Risky Business was fantastic. I don't
Okay.
care that the guy's
Jerry
a little
Maguire.
weird. And he's also like, doesn't he
weird,
like
dude.
hustle people for money with that Scientology thing? I respect the
yeah.
hustle. I
Really?
respect.
Okay.
And he was great in Tropic Thunder to bring back Ben Stiller.
He was great in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah,
Great
look at that.
cameo.
Yeah.
Don't bring back Ben.
Okay, well, I mean, we were talking about Ben, so Tropic Thunder. Jerry, here's
I
the
mean,
thing.
the guy is the
Yeah,
biggest
piss off
movie
Tobin.
star on the planet, and he's a religious icon. I don't think you can do any better.
Religious
galore.
icon.
Scientology.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you why I agree with Dono. I think she should get with Tom Cruise. Listen, sorry, ladies, this might offend you, but
Take it
understand
easy.
when you're of that quality, like Shakira, Giselle, and you with a PK who was one of the greatest soccer players, right, of all time, right, Dono?
I don't know if I'd go that far.
He's one of the best, but he's been one of the better soccer players.
Yeah,
in the
Great
last
I
name.
mean,
10,
Great
15
name.
years.
By the way, great name for a soccer player.
And I love the
PK.
name PK.
Yeah.
Or Tom Brady. You can't get with no Publix cash register. You can't get with the cashier from Publix. You can't get with anyone. So she gets with PK and she moves up to Tom Cruise. That's elevation,
It's a
baby.
good revenge. It's a good
It's
revenge.
elevation.
It's a good revenge play by her.
It's elevation.
Yeah, it's true.
Like Brady can get with, somebody from the Cleveland. We're not
Brady's-
going to knock
Brady's
him.
going to be with some Swedish girl who doesn't speak English.
Right. But Giselle can't get with, the back at the Cleveland. She's got to get with a wealthy man.
tell
He
you,
does his
Shakira
own
should-
stunts. It's very impressive. Like he actually
yeah.
he flew the planes in Top Gun. He does his own stunts.
I believe it. If Shakira got with Tom Cruise,
Oh, I
that'd
would
be a
believe
win-win
it, but
for her.
I don't know. He's just such a weirdo.
I
Great
got Goosies
great
galore.
actor. Don't get me
I don't know
wrong.
why you think he's weird, but okay.
He's my kind of weird. He is weird, but I enjoy it.
You know who she should be with?
Who?
Somebody handsome. Like Gabe
Don't.
Vincent. That dude
No.
is handsome. He's handsome enough for Shakira.
He is handsome, but they're like
What
the
about
age
Strus?
gap is ridiculous.
What about Max Strus?
You know what I gotta say? I feel like Max Strus, he strikes me as a guy who he is handsome, but I feel like his
Do you
handsome.
think that's too much
He
sauce
kind of
for
looks
him?
like
Is
PK
that what it
too.
is?
He
I
kind of looks
just-
like PK too.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know if that. I just feel like the Gabe Vincent is it's a better blend with Shakira. I do.
Okay.
I do. If I were to go with, look, Max is handsome. Don't get me wrong, but Shmita does make a good point though. Cody Zeller's name is Big Handsome. Bro, how crazy would it be if she ended up with Cody Zeller?
That's a plot twist.
That means anybody really can land
She's
anyone.
just sitting courtside, and then there's Shakira dating heat backup big man Cody Zeller. All right. Let's do one more topic, J-Fig.
Vlad, this is for you.
Nice.
The Celtics getting bounced tonight.
Oh, dude. That's Goosies galore if the Celtics get bounced
That's
tonight.
major Goosies.
That's
galore.
major Goosies right there. We're going to be doing some grief list of WEI tomorrow.
Oh my God! For the Bruins and the Celtics to be knocked out this early,
That would be Goosies galore, dude. Hell
That
yes.
would be Goosies.
That is good. Dono?
Oh, Goosies, especially since, like, I think about it, and I know that neither of those series are done yet, but just the idea that after, the Celtics advanced past the Heat on, one final shot last year, and then they had such a better offseason than the Heat, such a better regular season than the Heat. The idea that the Heat could go farther in the playoffs than the Celtics this year, Goosies galore, not to mention what Vlad was talking about, to see Boston teams going down earlier than they thought. Oh, I'm going to cherish every second of that.
J-Fig?
Goosies.
Yeah.
Goosies.
Vlad?
Oh, Goosies for
That's
my
a
boy
Goose-
Ime.
It's a Goosey sweep. For Ime?
For Ime.
He does have to be looking at me like this Missoula idiot.
This Missoula, really?
Idiot.
You let me go? I got you to the finals.
All because
I just wanted some side action.
Did we ever find out what happened?
Never
No.
fully disclosed.
Very weird. All right. That's Goosies, no Goosies. Final hour of the show coming up after this. All right, welcome back. Tobin, Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. Take up until 2 o'clock. Alex Dono, kind enough to sit in with us for the next couple of days. Leroy's enjoying a long weekend, his birthday weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Happy born day.
He is well. Is it your birthday weekend? If your birthday is the Monday after the weekend, that's what's then your birthday.
So
weekend.
he's coming back on his birthday?
Yeah,
it's a little weird.
That's
Did he
a
go
little weird.
somewhere?
That's a bit weird.
I don't know. He was texting me that it was a mush during. He was definitely listening to us during one of the segments. I don't feel like he is.
Yeah, it can't be that great of a vacation if he's listening.
Leroy takes pride in working on his birthday. He says that it's a lousy excuse not to work on your birthday.
But then can you use that excuse when you take the 2 days before your birthday off? Can you then brag about working on your birthday when you clearly
he has a long couple of days, I think. He has an anniversary, I think.
Yeah, it's like
And his daughter's
anniversary.
birthday?
Yeah, all that stuff.
Did he do that on purpose so that he won't forget having everything surrounded right around his birthday? Because you're not going to forget your birthday.
I don't know. I don't know what his
But you'll
logic of it
forget-
was, but he is.
You will forget anniversaries, Ask Joe Rose. And
yeah, I can't forget anniversaries, dude. Like that's the ones in the holster.
you have to
Such a-
remember
such
an
a rookie
anniversary.
move.
That is such a rookie move. No
I was
wonder
like
Beverly
this
Jewelers
close
gets a
to
lot of money.
forgetting. I was almost forgetting the Mother's Day was coming up this weekend, but
Did you really?
Sunday.
Yeah, almost. But thankfully, they're doing some Mother's Day thing at my son's school, and I get emails about that. I'm like, oh, is that is coming up, huh?
Oh, so you got bailed out. You got bailed out by one of those class apps.
I got bailed out by the Class Dojo.
Oh, dude, you got Class Dojo?
Is that the one you use?
I hate Class Dojo so much. They're trying to squeeze you for every nickel.
Yeah,
They're like,
I,
hey, listen,
I have not paid for a single add-on on Class Dojo. I use all the free versions of whatever. But yeah,
Yeah, they're
it's-
like,
it's
you want some analytics on Tommy's math? I'm like, absolutely not. I do not.
No.
You think you're gonna get $3.99 out of me? Nice try, Class Dojo.
What is Class Dojo?
It's an app, JFig, and they'll be like, and this teacher will be like, Tommy, here's some photos, but would you like this with some filters on Class Dojo? No.
Just give me the photos.
Just let me see my kid doing some finger painting or whatever you guys are doing in first grade these days.
And I think the big thing, it's a way to like communicate with the teachers without them having to give you all their personal info and stuff. Like, I don't know. It's
Which,
kind
look,
of
as a husband of a teacher, parents texting your wife at
that's weird.
all hours of the night saying Timmy's not going to be in tomorrow. It's like that couldn't have waited till the morning. Thank
Yeah.
you. I'm trying to enjoy some Love Island right now. What are we doing? But the other thing that's gone crazy with parenting apps down, like nobody can have a universal app anymore. It's like you got like for my daughter's cheerleading, it's got a WhatsApp, it's got a Remind, it's got I think it's got a Slack.
Slack.
Let's just pick one already. Let's
Dude,
all
I
agree
am
upon
in-
one.
I am in so many different WhatsApp groups, and like the same thing with Class Dojo. I ghost everybody. Like, the only time, like sometimes
I do that now.
Yeah, I'll see the Class Dojo because it comes into my email as well. But as far as using the actual app, and my son's teacher figured it out. Like she knows she cannot count on me to read anything. So if she's got something important to say, she'll say it in person when I drop him off. I'm in like 15 WhatsApp groups. I ghost everybody in there, man. I'm not a good communicator, ironically, with what I do for a living, but I know I'm not a good communicator, and the people around me have to deal with it.
I just don't know when we got to the point where it's just like, hey, if I need to tell people, like, I just come from the day, Galen sends an email. All right, I get it. An email's fine. But like when we were just like, well, it's actually better than an email, Slack. So we could all communicate at all points. And I'm like, no, we're not going to turn this into AOL. I'm not going to be here waiting for your guys' all thoughts and then somebody sending me cat memes in between. I'm not down with that. Let's keep it as simple as possible, one app as possible. But these kids groups, they've made it willy-nilly, nonstop, especially the cheer moms. Oh my God. They never stop.
Cheer moms.
Don't you roll those PTA moms?
Oh, thankfully I don't have to deal with that. No, that's one of the pluses of your wife being a teacher is the PTA. Not worried about it because you're on the other side of things, but still.
Hold on, Tobin. You have to come back when you're home and she comes back. You have to hear all the gossip, though, don't you?
Oh, all of it, dude.
It's
Those
all
are
of it,
good.
and
All of
she's
it,
got
dude.
a lot of gossip that she wants to unleash on you. You just want to watch Jimmy interview, don't you?
I know all the dirt on all the kids and their parents.
And their
I know
parents.
the backstories. I hear the horror stories. I hear all of it.
All the tea.
I do. I have all it, dude. Like a Brit. All the tea.
Earl Grey.
Let's get to some headlines here brought to you by New Palmetto Ford Truck Supercenter. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
Dono knows trucks.
Dono does know.
Wow. Nice truck, too.
That is a nice truck. I've been talking about it. The Heat lost last night, 112-103. Knicks can still go to hell. Whatever. Maple Leafs, they beat the Panthers 2-1, game 4. That's a 3-1 series. Jimmy Butler, by the way, he was named All-NBA second team yesterday.
That more money for him?
I don't think so because he just got an extension this year. So I don't think so, Vlad. Because he was the same. Whatever it was last year, it's the same. So it's not like because you're only extension eligible at certain points, right?
Like first team or second team?
No, I don't think it has to do with that. I think first team you do get more.
Yeah.
Like, but I think that he just got an extension last year and he got all NBA last year anyway. So whatever it would have been, it is the same, I think.
The reason I asked is because Julius Randle made third team and he got a bonus.
Mhm.
But he didn't even know what the bonus was, but he knew he got a
Must
bonus.
be nice.
Yeah, right. It's like, I don't even care.
Whatever.
And Jaylen Brown, I also believe.
Well, that's a big one. Yeah,
that was a big one.
Jaylen Brown and they're both going to make one's going to make, I think Tatum can make over 300 and Brown's like almost 300. But they basically said that will basically solidify him staying in Boston with all this fodder because they're the only ones who give him that much money.
Did those bonuses count against the cap?
Well, yeah, because it basically I think it's what you're I think it's like, it goes up. So I think it does go for tax threshold and all that stuff. And then
I don't want that then. No, sorry guys, no bonuses for you.
So it's like you kind of like you want your guys to get awards, but then you kind of don't because then it messes up the salary cap.
Right,
you know?
exactly.
But no, I'm happy for Jimmy. Obviously, that's a cool thing. I mean, you'll not meet a person who cares less about it. Individual accolades than that guy, at least publicly. He'll give no acknowledgement of that. So cool. But yeah, that was the one with big. I saw though yesterday. It is funny seeing everybody still get offended by it. Like Donovan Mitchell was really. People are suspecting he was very offended that he didn't make first team,
but Shea did,
and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander did, and Shea was good this year.
He was very good this year.
So. I don't know. Like, I think Donovan Mitchell needs to put the thumbs away. You just lost in the first round, dude.
Yeah, man.
Same thing with Trae Young. Put the thumbs away, dude.
I'm kind of backing up Trae Young.
That he should be all NBA.
Listen, he gets ridiculed a lot, and there's others who play the same position who was traded for him that never get ridiculed.
Luka.
Yeah. All right. Same thing. Luka
didn't even make the playoffs.
He did, Joe Trae.
He did.
Right.
He did.
But Trae doesn't get ripped. I mean, Luka doesn't get ripped the way Trae does.
No way.
Absolutely not.
I think it's because of that hair, man. It's like hard to take the guy seriously. I'm just saying, like, honestly, I don't think I would notice Trae Young, good or bad, as much as I do, except for that
does
weird
look
hair.
Like Fraggle Rock. He does look like Fraggle Rock, but still, I'm talking about both of them are coach killers. But nobody rips Luka the same way they rip Trae.
It's because I'll tell you what, it's the Goran Dragic secret of having an adorable Slovenian accent.
I think so. And the fact
That's
that you
right.
drink
Very,
beer
very
for
true.
breakfast.
Although Luka's Slovenian, not as adorable as Gogies. Nobody's got as sweet a voice as Gogies does. You know, his is just like I hope Gogies at the game on Friday. Hey, Gogi, go to the game, dude. I know you're down here.
You yell loud enough, you can hear you outside.
I think so, dude. I think I see him right over there. I think he's over at I think he's at Half Moon Empanadas. I think I see him.
Oh, there you go.
All right, we'll take a quick break. Very interesting reactions that are going on this whole Anthony Davis head injury that happened yesterday. Not exactly people taking this as seriously as maybe they should. That's next.
WQAM
And Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. Take you up until 2 o'clock here on the program. Alex Dono sitting in for Leroy. We don't have Leroy to do his weather today. We usually got to do a weather from the Demesman and Dover Law Firm, your accidentattorneys.com. Free consultations 24/7. Call up at 866-954-MORE. Usually Leroy heads over to the Windowplex.
Dude, do you want me to look out the window?
Yeah, can you look at the window? What do you got
view.
here? Weather, Dono. Give us a, what is it, nice out?
Hold on.
Just going to
Check
check
out
over.
there.
Don't go in the pool now, Don.
Yeah,
don't go in
no
the pool.
swimming right now, all right? You got your
Gross. Beautiful sunny skies out there.
Wow.
Looks like it's probably around 79 degrees. It's nice out there. It's going to be any of the New Yorkers out there, you're probably baking out there. It's so hot.
How many degrees did you say?
He said 79.
Maybe 79, maybe 83.
But it might be 79 in
Where
Dono
he is,
area because
exactly.
Dono's area
Yeah.
is,
I'm not gonna hold him to that.
it's great.
So it does look very nice over there with the lagoon and his mermaids that he's got going on. It's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place. Heat lose last night. They fall to the Knicks 112-103. Jimmy Buckets with his lowest scoring output of the playoffs. He's been averaging over 34 points. He scored 19 points last night. 7 rebounds. I mean, he really filled up the stat sheet all over the place. It's just that, with Jimmy Butler, like you need him to be. You need Jimmy Butler to be the best player in the world. That's what's kind of made this whole run special. And he was good yesterday. It wasn't like a bad Jimmy Butler performance. Like it was a B Jimmy Butler performance. And I feel like the Heat, they need Jimmy Butler to, they need Jimmy Butler at an A or at least a B plus. And I felt like, they just didn't have that same level of aggressive.
You respect us.
Who?
You.
Oh, listen.
You said B plus A Jimmy performance,
Oh, dude. Well, listen.
Right.
I know what the team is. It'd be like the team doesn't have Tyler Hero. You need Jimmy Butler to be one of the best scorers in these playoffs for the Heat to win. That's like when Leroy was making fun of me last round and he goes, "Why are you picking the Heat?" And I'm just like, Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
I'm not breaking news here. I think that the Heat are they too Jimmy Butler reliant? I don't know. I mean, it's a topic. I mean, I do feel like the role guys have played really well around him. But he's their go-to guy. He's their star. And if Jimmy Butler is going to play, facilitating regular season style Jimmy Butler, I don't know how many games they're going to win. Like now, they almost did, which is why I think you should be nervous, Vlad, because he's not going to do that again.
And he's raised the standard so high for himself heading into that game, scoring 34 per game in the playoffs, that just based on him being under 20 last night, it has like a lot of Heat fans like, wait, was he hobbled? Is the ankle bothering him? He's standing in the corner a lot. It's like, I don't know. I mean, he's obviously been playing through that ankle for the last couple of games, and Jimmy is never 100% healthy. He's always playing through something. I just think people really put that under a microscope in a game where he's just a little bit less potent offensively than he usually is. People are starting to look for reasons or excuses as for why that happened. I think Jimmy's going to bounce back and have a monster game in game.
I think there's an element to look. I do think it takes Jimmy I think there's an element that Jimmy has to ramp up and know when to flip on that like super mode that he has to go into. I don't think that he looked at that game last night as one of those. I think that he saw probably what they did in game 2 where they didn't have him. Remember where he's nodding on the sidelines like a maniac. And I think he probably thought to himself, look, if I can feed my shooters and we can nail any shots, we're going to win this game. They just unfortunately failed him up until like the end when Duncan Robinson started getting cooking. But Kevin Love, Gabe Vincent, Strus, they just didn't have that touch. But they were developing. They were setting up really good shots. I think if the Heat go back and watch the film on this game, they're going to be like, you know what? We just didn't knock down the shots, but the execution on stuff was pretty good. So I'm not saying it was a bad strategy by Jimmy. I just think they probably needed him to go into that killer mode a little bit quicker. And I think it just took him a little bit. But, as far as worry concerned, I'd put it at like a 0.5 of where they are right now. Like, no, I think they're going to TCB tomorrow night, dude. I think the fact that they were even in that at all, Dono, with how bad they were with the fouling yesterday, and a lot of them were just not even, they were fouls not even on the ball. Like they were fouling guys off to the side, and the Knicks were in the bonus. And look, I will give you credit, Vlad. Jalen Brunson was a monster yesterday. And I feel like if, That's one of the best Knicks playoff performances you could go back to in a long, long time. That guy's bona fide in that city, I'm sure, for what he did.
Oh
yesterday.
yeah. He doesn't have to pay for a meal ever.
Yeah, we'll always have game 5.
and that's the way, and that's the way we want to see Jimmy play in Game 6.
Oh God, I want to see your face on Monday with a Game 7
It's
on the
not
line.
gonna happen, dude.
I am
sorry.
going to jinx this.
It
This
makes
building
sense
will be
because
next.
up until that Jalen Brunson game, that was the best thing to happen to the Knicks since Lynn's sanity, right? That was like the most exciting thing to happen since then.
Another thing the Heat ended. Lynn's sanity.
That's right.
Courtesy of Norris Cole and Mario Chalmers.
Oh, it's courtesy of he's about to get paid and doesn't want to get destroyed and exposed by the Heat. He didn't play that series. You know this? Remember that?
Oh, I'm talking about the actual regular season.
Oh no, that
game.
actual regular season. That's the reason why he didn't want to play in that series.
Shook.
He was so shook.
I want to get to this. So it's interesting. We had so many talks about concussions with Tua. It swarmed us, Donna. How much we were talking about it. Have you seen some of the reaction around the country on this Anthony Davis thing? Like last night. So if you guys didn't see late last night, Anthony Davis going for a rebound. Kevon Looney hits him in the side of the head, and he's shaken up by it. Like he looks pretty dazed on the bench, and apparently they wheeled him in a wheelchair back to the locker room. And I get it. Anthony Davis is, injury prone. The guy has the nickname Street Clothes for a reason. But like, dude, did you see yesterday when they got the news of that, how much Shaq and Charles Barkley, they were dying laughing about this on the desk. And I'm not sensitive to this stuff. Like, I get it. Like, we can, you guys know we like to have silly sauce on the show as much as the next day. But then I heard Stephen A this morning, and Stephen A's like giving Anthony Davis the business for taking a shot to the head.
I'll be damned if I wasn't laughing. I'm like, concussion. I thought the NFL season was over. You understand? Now I understand that concussions can happen in other sports, boxing, UFC, and I mean, if the collision is fierce enough, I guess it could happen in basketball too. But damn, I ain't seen nothing yesterday that made me say concussion. Concussion. Now I don't know if it's true. Did the wheelchair get him to the locker room? I'm not sure. Is that true, Jay?
Yes, that's why they were dying.
A wheelchair? Wheelchair? Really? That's where we are. Listen, if you are LeBron James, this has got to be. Listen, I hope Anthony Davis. I got to actually sit here and say this. I hope Anthony Davis is okay.
See, that's where
really. I got no other place to go but that. Look, man. We got to stop. We got to stop it, man. We got to stop it. It's the playoffs, man. I mean, damn it, was he running over the middle and got hit by Ronnie Lott or something? Did I miss something? Did I miss it? Is Ray Lewis still playing? Ray Lewis in a Los Angeles Lakers uniform? I mean, did he get hit by Aaron Donald? Did I miss something, Jay Williams? Did I miss something? Because I just show Jay Williams right now. Okay. I mean, did I miss something?
That's nasty,
dude.
That's terrible.
That is the weirdest take I've ever heard. It's
this is the thing that's crazy about it. Like, we're making fun of this guy getting concussions. I am months removed from the people wanting the Dolphins in handcuffs because Tua is going to go play football.
That's horrible.
I'm just thinking to myself, like, wait a minute. Do you guys care about this stuff or do we not care about this stuff? Like, I'm sorry. If Stephen A. Smith were to just sit there idly by and Kevon Looney, monster of a man, hits him with his elbow in the side of the temple, how do you think he's going to feel?
Yeah, let Kevon Looney hit Stephen A. in the side of the temple. I bet you the rest of that hairline is gone.
Well,
that's messed up.
The weird thing about this is if he had the exact same take about, Tua getting taken off the field in a stretcher, if he had been laughing, like he would have had to issue a public apology after doing that segment if it was about an NFL player.
Right.
You do it about an NBA player, and like everybody's got that same take, as you mentioned, Charles and Shaq, and then Stephen A. The extra. Like, it's weird. Like, do people not understand? A concussion is a concussion.
I thought we take this stuff seriously. I thought I thought we're beyond. This is just getting your bell rung. That this is supposed to be like. I get it. It's basketball, but like also these are giant people, and you got hit in the side of the head. Like, look, Tua's hits. All of them were not bang. You got hit like head-on collision. All of them were hitting his head on the back of the turf, like on weird. Other than the Cincinnati one, on like kind of weird tackles that he snapped back. That's why he's taking jujitsu and he's gonna choke your ass out now. But I just like, wait a minute. You guys all are telling me that the Dolphins quarterback is basically not fit to play the game because too many concussions. And now you have Anthony Davis, who looks like, yeah, I mean, I guess it could look like nothing, but I could also see like side of the temple. That's a pretty vulnerable spot that he took.
Yeah.
And you guys are mocking him. Like, you guys don't care about this stuff. You're such liars.
That's bizarre.
That's
I mean,
nasty work.
well, and it's crazy how like the narrative around AD, and like I get it, the guy's hurt all the time. I get, but like it's weird how that narrative has become so powerful that no matter what kind of an injury he picks up, they can make fun of this dude with impunity. It's like I don't know, man.
I
It's like
know. like, oh, he had to get taken back by. Yeah, well, what if he's messed up, dude?
Yeah.
No, thankfully, it sounds like he's not. It sounds like it just. I mean, you know, I don't know what. Who knows what kind of loopholes they're using in that NBA? You know, we don't. Who's to say? But. And I guess the reports are that he should be available for Game 6. But even still, like,
yeah,
man, if he did get seriously hurt, if he like, wasn't there a theory for a while that Roy Hibbert, what ended him was when LeBron James elbowed him going to the rim? Remember when LeBron, when he was on the Heat, he was going to the rim and he got that offensive foul. I've never seen anything like that. And he Bones Jones Roy Hibbert, and Roy Hibbert was never the same.
No,
Like,
he
never
wasn't
the same after that.
Like,
yeah.
I really would have loved to see if he was concussed and he was out maybe 2-3 games or maybe the rest of the series. What would they answer? Oh, sorry.
Oh, my bad.
I didn't want to make fun.
Obviously, we wanted to.
You know, Ernie. It was awful for us. It was a terrible.
Ernie was
thing.
out. Ernie was not going to laugh. You're
It
not
was
going to get Ernie to
Nah,
laugh.
it was
yeah,
terrible.
he's a
It was
professional.
terrible that we made fun of Anthony Davis, and we're sorry. I'm sorry. No, you can't do that. That's nasty. That's the same thing they did with the Ryan Garcia. Like, as if you've ever been punched in the liver.
Right.
Has anybody been punched in the liver?
Thankfully, no. But it looks I've seen it happen enough times. It looks very painful.
It's very painful. Nobody's
shuts your
ever
whole
been
body
punched.
down.
Yes. So until you get punched by a verified knockout artist in Tank Davis, and you take that punch, and let me see how your ribs and your liver gonna feel. Don't start making fun of people.
Well, I just want everybody to get the memo, just so we're clear. It is May, and ESPN is no longer concerned with concussions. So just remember, now it will change again, of course, once Tua, if he ever does, Lord Almighty, hit his head, and then again, it's going to be the worst thing that's ever happened in sports. But just so we're clear, on today's date, ESPN is now mocking concussions. They are not concerned by them anymore. It does not involve the Dolphins nor Tua Tagovailoa. Just so we're clear on the status.
It went so far the other direction in the NFL last year. Do you remember that time they ruled Teddy Bridgewater out because they didn't like the way he got up?
Yes.
And then Teddy was just like, yeah, my pop-up game has to be on point. That was one of the best quotes of the season. I got to improve my pop-up game.
You got it. We all gotta just be careful. We can't linger on the ground too much, otherwise they might just they may just be, get him out of there. Spotter, remember the guy's the spotter. Just putting him anywhere. It's like the guy who takes away Max Strus threes out of nowhere.
Yes.
Teddy Bridgewater doesn't look quite right to me. Gets him out of there.
Probably the same guy that ruled out Teddy also takes away the Max Strus threes.
He's just the god of sports. He just looks down and be like, I don't like the looks of that. Change that.
Well, it's like those snitches they used to have in golf that would watch and they would call the hotline and report the infractions.
Oh, man. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll wrap things up on the other side. Tobin and Leroy back after this. tickets right now. They're the SoFlo Boat Show, which is coming to Miami Marine Stadium May 19th through the 21st. We've got your chance to win a 4-pack right now. You guys see all the new model boats. There's live music, world-class food and drinks. Keep listening for your chance to win, which is right now. Caller number 3 to 305-567-0560. 305-567-0560. Caller 3 will get a 4-pack of tickets to the SoFlo Boat Show, which is coming your way on May 19th. So if you guys want to go, caller 3 to 305-567-0560. We will get the announcement of the Miami Dolphins schedule around 8 o'clock tonight. What we know so far is they will take on the Patriots week 2 in New England, although that's not apparently going to be the Tom Brady game. I guess that's going to be the first game when they take on the Eagles. So, good for them. They get to relive their Tom Brady glory days. It's been so long. Got to bring him back already, Donald. I mean, go back to the Tom Brady well already. The Patriots fans, they're all suffering right now. The Celtics are about to lose. Yeah. The Bruins lost. You got to get right to it.
Well, when Mac Jones is your quarterback, you got to remember the better times. I think that, in fact, there's probably going to be a lot of people there that hope Brady suits up for that game because, hell, he's probably, not probably, I'm sure he is because he was last year. I'm sure right now he's better than Mac Jones is.
Oh, of course. Not even a question. Not even a question. It's tough for Mac Jones out there. I get it. He's on his last legs, but, it'll all be over soon, Mac. You got one more year. And then I'm sure they'll go in another direction. And then we know the Dolphins, we found out yesterday, are for some reason going to Germany to take on the Chiefs. That one really annoyed me. I got to be honest with you. Out of anything that we learned today, the Chiefs opening their season against the Lions. Why? And they have this, the NFL likes drama. They have this golden opportunity. Tyreek Hill, one of the best promoters in the game, not only one of the best players, but that guy can hype something up. You just gonna let that go by? You could have Dolphins and Chiefs to open up the season. Dolphins are obviously going to be a big draw in a lot of national TV games. Why the hell would they not go with that? I don't get it.
Yeah, that could have been dynamite in Kansas City to bring Tyreek Hill back there. Instead, they give it to Frankfurt. Now, the only reason why, listen, that's a missed opportunity for the NFL. As a Dolphin fan, I just like the fact that you play in Germany, but you don't lose your home game because that's Kansas City's home game, and the Dolphins have 9 games at Hard Rock Stadium this year,
cool.
So that's nice. It's a little extra bonus for the season ticket holders, I guess. I'm sure they had to pay more probably for that, but it's a nice bonus for them.
Yeah, and then they can get the stronghold going in Germany. The Dolphins already got a stronghold in England.
Yeah.
And so now they can expand more of Europe.
I would guess, just based on how well the Dolphins trend in England, I would guess they probably do all right in Germany, compared to, because I've noticed the European American football fans, they tend to hold on to the best memories of the olden days. So I know you can look at Kansas City, they've won all these Super Bowls and Pat Mahomes, but over in Frankfurt, they probably still watch Dan Marino footage over there, and they're all over these Dolphins. So maybe the Dolphins are big in Germany too.
I feel like there's something about Tua that just seems like he translates to German fans. Yeah. Lefty. I don't know.
What?
I have no idea.
It made sense somehow.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
We're trying to go down the trend there. Tua. The Germans love Tua. I feel like if he's going to have the most popular, the popular jersey there,
Yeah, probably so.
I am excited though. The thing that's interesting, Donald, is we've had so many years of the Dolphins, not exciting offense. Dolphins, it's what are they going to do this year? That was so much fun on Sundays this year to see the 2 fastest guys in the league be on your team, get them the football, do explosive stuff. So yeah, it's I really genuinely cannot wait for that show to be back and see what they're able to put forth. So that's why I think it is fun tonight. For some reason they decided we're going to put all our playoff games on the same day, so we have nothing else going on tonight. So yeah, it should be an interesting one. But to go with I just don't understand that. Why are we allowing Jared Goff to open our season?
Do you think the NFL just decided people are going to watch opening night no matter what because it's opening night? So let's try to save some of the spicier matchups for down the road to take it, because it kind of makes sense, right? Because everyone in America is going to watch that opening Thursday night game. Like they could do like, they could have the Lions against somebody like the Jaguars. Sorry, Tobin. They could have Lions Jaguars, and it could probably draw a number on opening night. So maybe, hey, we'll save the spicier matchups for later on.
Maybe I can't. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Like they're gonna go, but I feel like you're always gonna go with the juicy matchup.
Should.
Like I think that's just what we're all expecting. Like it doesn't have to be the rematch. Like you don't have to burn that, but it's just I don't know. For a league that loves basically all primetime matchups are usually quarterback versus quarterback. Look, Goff had a nice year last year. He wasn't a bum like everybody thought that he was going to be. Like he was on his last legs. Threw up a lot of numbers. They're an explosive offense. It's still Jared Goff, dude. It's like putting Kirk Cousins in the opening game. Like you just never would do it. You never would do it.
That's a great comparison because Kirk Cousins also pretty darn good quarterback, but he doesn't move the needle.
Just like I don't want him in prime. Not I know you got to throw him a bone every now and then, but not the opener. He's Thanksgiving.
He's a 1 o'clock quarterback. Same thing with Goff. Those are 1 p.m. QBs. Those are not primetime QBs.
Exactly. Schmied and Schmolnick with a great point, by the way. Von Ginkel gonna love the Germany trip. Great point.
That's probably why they put the Dolphins in Germany. Yes, we bring Von Ginkel. He's here now. He coming. Yes.
Von Ginkel's gonna find some long lost relatives.
He's gonna get to stay. He's gonna stay at his ancestors' castle. He's gonna have here is my ancestral home in Frankfurt.
Von Ginkel's gonna arrive in the game in Lederhosen. Just him and Zach Sealer just showing up. Just like it's beer fest. Yeah, I don't know. Strange, man. Germany. All right, cool. I mean, but very, very weird thing. That the Black Friday game against the Jets is cool. I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Now that I've learned that it's gonna be nothing but Canes and Dolphins football that day. Hopefully it'll be a good game. Dono, is this gonna be a good season, man? I mean, you're locked on the Canes. Your great podcast work. Like I was asking the other day, like I don't know what to feel. I want to feel good. I want to come with optimism. TVD very scared me for a second, like he was going to go to Alabama. Right. How are we feeling going to this, man?
We got like 3 episodes out of the TVD to Alabama saga, but no, I mean, I view it, and it's like I don't think they're going to have like the TCU type turnaround from a couple of years ago where they end up, in the national title. I think it's more like turning a cruise ship with this Canes team. I'm not expecting to go from 5 wins to 11 wins or anything like that. I think they're going to be probably a couple wins better than last year, more competitive in the losses because the team is just deeper. Tobin, specifically at the line of scrimmage, they've got a lot more on the offensive line. They're oozing with edge rushers this year. I think that's going to raise their floor, right? I don't know how much higher the ceiling's going to go, but I think the floor is going to be raised considerably because that offensive line last year couldn't block. They couldn't block on Twitter. Like they couldn't block anything that O-line last year. They've got a lot more horses up front this year than last year.
Yeah, that has to get figured, right? Because like that's Cristobal's, that's his playpen, the offensive line. So he had to be I couldn't imagine how beside himself he must have been with that last year. That must have killed him.
And Alex Mirabal, who's his protege, the O-line coach, that had to be rough for him. And they went out. I mean, since last year, they got 2 impact guys in the transfer portal, one of which was the starting left guard at Alabama, Javion Cohen, who's going to start at left guard at Miami. They got Matt Lee, the center from UCF, who was one of the highest graded centers in the country last year. And they got 2 5-star guys in recruiting last year, including Francis Mauigoa, who's probably going to be the starting right tackle year 1. That's
that Pancake Honcho?
Pancake Honcho's the other one.
There's another one?
Yeah, there's another one. I don't think Honcho's going to start the first year. He'll probably be the backup left tackle, but I think Mauigoa, who's an 18-year-old kid who's like 6'5", 345, I think he's going to start at right tackle this year. So they're getting a lot of talent on the O-line. So I think they're going to be probably a couple wins better than last year, if not 2-3 wins better.
That's exciting. I just feel like it's been so much more quiet with everything. I guess last year was we're all very hyped. We're drunk with money all over the place, but
yeah,
the Middle Tennessee happened, and I feel like everybody had to kind of humble themselves a little bit.
I haven't recovered from that Middle Tennessee game, but you know what? It's probably like quieter is better because, and you're right. It was about the money, right? I mean,
it's splashy,
right? Like, because I believe in what Cristobal is doing, and I think he's turning over the roster, and I'm giving him a chance. I think he's building the roster the right way. But people really, myself included, thought that last season they were going to be, not necessarily a national title contender, but like a contender to win 9 or 10 games last year. That was a rude awakening for all of us. So I think,
the thing that it was like, just from the outside perception was like, oh, well, they have an awesome QB and now they have a credible coach. Bingo, it's going to be fixed. We just didn't know like how much had to be gutted to figure out and fix. Like, that's the thing. I think that was just like, holy crap.
Yeah, and people really overrated the offensive coordinator last year because he had just won the Broyles at Michigan. It turned out that was all smoke and mirrors, whatever he was doing at Michigan, working under Harbaugh. And I don't think anyone realized how bad and injured the offensive line would be because it was turnstile lanes last year. So it's like, what do you and Van Dyke was actually starting to play pretty well right before he got the shoulder injury. So he was actually starting to kind of regain his old form. And then he got hurt. And then you had to Jake Garcia struggled behind an O-line that couldn't block. And then, Jakari Brown was playing as a true freshman. He just wasn't ready, for that kind of pressure starting against Florida, or not starting, but playing most of the game against Florida State and all that stuff. So yeah, I like to put last year behind me as much as I possibly can.
As we should honestly like never speak of it again until like, unless this just continues to get worse for Cristobal. We'll be like, well, we should have known at Middle Tennessee State this wasn't going to work out, but hopefully that's just one of those where it's like, hey, remember that? But I don't want him to. I'm glad he doesn't mention it. Like Manny Diaz would mention, well, LSU lost to Troy. Like he brought that up immediately. He went to that card. So I'm hopeful. I definitely misguided last year and thought things are going to be so much easier. I was like, oh, there's so much money. We got a strength coach with a great mustache. Things are going to be fixed. I haven't heard. Where the hell is Coach Feld?
He's still around. I saw him last month. He's still rocking the mustache. So for this year, we're gonna have a decent idea because so week 1 they play Miami of Ohio at home. That should be a win. But Middle Tennessee should have been a win last year. But week 2 they host Texas A&M. And obviously, like they're not the class of the SEC. They had a tough year last year, but Texas A&M they're loaded with talent. So that's gonna be what shows you where Miami is if they hopefully beat Texas A&M at home and are competitive against their athletes. We're gonna have a good idea. Not so much week 1, but week 2, yeah.
All right, buddy. We'll do it again tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I can't wait.
Appreciate you sitting in today, Dono. Vlad, enjoy your one day. It's a 24-hour rule, dude. All right.
Only one day?
Because it's a closeout Friday tomorrow, dude. It is a closeout Friday. We'll talk to you guys then.